Good evening, everybody, and welcome to BSRTV for round 4 of the BSRTC Pro Series. Alex Simpson, Adam Bath in the commentary booth for the first stint of this team endurance race. Sorry about the late arrival today. A little bit of panic, just trying to get everything organised for the event. A few drivers not able to join due to some technical glitches, so we see a reduced grid, unfortunately, I think, today. But for the most part, everybody seems to be there, and it's going to be interesting race, to say the least. Adam, first time for a team event for this series.
Yeah, completely different game, completely, Alex. Team racing, extended race, 2 races only happening tonight in the BSRTC Pro Series. How we will see driver changes and pit stops for the first time ever in this championship. It's definitely going to be 2 wild races.
Just having a very quick look at the grid now. Svidovic put the engine oils direct car on pole position. Job starts the first stint, and he was second place as well for Apex Racing TV. Of course, we've got lots of different cars. Engine oil direct number 2 is third on the grid. So Volatile Element is fourth. David Baker starting in that one. GTO 1 is in 5th place. 6th place is first of the Peak New Media cars, and then we have the first of the Oculus cars with Andreas Katz in 7th and the second Volatile Element car in 8th. Just quickly flip through as we've got Team Carnage in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is the first of the PowerMax cars. So Jamie Rushworth's going to start in there. As I just tick through the grid on your screen, do apologise once again for being a little bit late to this one. We'll try and catch up as it goes. Just having a quick look at driver standings. Svidovic had a great week last time out and just extends his leads from Rushworth, Katz, Lee Thompson in 4th. It's pretty tight up there at the moment. In the ES Trophy again, John Roberts looking very, very good. Matt Walker, well, close on his tail. Bert moves up and Malcolm drops a place. So Paul Smith rounds out your top 5. As for the team standings, Engine Oils Direct and GT Mega looking very, very, very strong early as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how the team's starting to pan out. Everybody seems to be getting drivers on the track on a bit more regular basis now. So I think we'll see those start to really show who's going to be fighting for that prize money very, very soon. 25 seconds to go until the start of this race. Wow, Adam. I hope you can get in, because obviously you're going to be racing with Andrew today.
Yeah, hopefully in race 2. It looks like that's not going to be the case for race 1. I'm just about to join the session now to start the race. However, I don't think we can really call anyone that's going to win this race, Alex. We've never had pit stops before. It's definitely going to throw up some variables. The person leading into the pits for their first pit stop might not be leading it at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Revs are starting to rise here. We're getting ready. Start of this race, right? Everybody's way 3 wide already going into turn 1. Oh, Sebastian's moving over to try and cover off. I think that was the second of the Engine Oil Direct's car, and he managed to lead into turn 1. Has to be very aggressive. Still, as we watch the opening lap start to unfold here, it seems like guys are there in the second of the Engine Oil Direct's car is battling with, I believe that's Rob Plumley as well. So they're coming to a little bit of contact there as well. Again, we're almost 3 wide. We're going up through the tricky right-hander before the back straight. There's still a lot of rubbing going on out there right now. Drivers just trying to find their place, and wow, Sebastian's absolutely flying away. He's already got a 2.5 second lead, be it that these guys are battling so hard. We're almost 3-4 wide into the chicane. We've got one of the Peak New Media cars spinning round. There's a lot of carnage out there right now. 3-4 cars off the track. We'll try and see who they are. I think one of them's Kevin Noon. Might have even been Dan Hunt as well. Not sure who the Peak New Media car was. Might have just been able to salvage that. So, but yeah, so already at the start of this race, got a lot of drivers just getting into each other. Steve Burke coming, putting a little bit of pressure on Dan Blake as well. So down through the pitchback section of the track. I haven't even got my track map ready as well. How terrible am I? Right, 3.3 seconds. Sebastian Job leads for Apex Racing TV. And yeah, well, the way he's going out there right now, 2 seconds quicker for that last lap. He's going to be in a race of 1 out front very, very quickly. Guys are slowly trying to work his way up to Plumley, but I have to say Plumley looks really good in the Carnage car there, sorry, the Volatile Element car there, and starting to pull away, half a second at the moment from Kaiser. Newman there sitting very, very close. I have to feel like he'll probably be a player patient game. There's no need really for the drivers to rush through the pack as we might have seen in previous races here at BRSTC. Just got that much longer. 35 laps is the race today, so no need to get out there really, really quickly and try and force an issue. We've got some great little individual battles, a lot less cars out there actually. That's one thing I've noticed. Mark Johnson here in the one of the OGR cars there. Currently sitting in 12th place. He's got Dan Hunt just ahead of him, and then Andrew Woodhouse in the 3rd of the Apex Racing TV cars. Andrew, of course, your teammate for this one. Adam, hopefully you, like I say, you can jump in and join in. One of the drivers who is experiencing some issues out there right now in Connecting.
Yes, Andrew Woodhouse currently sitting in 13th place, as you believe, with Huzan 14th, the Climax car, Ellis Stevens. So league admin versus league commentator. We were saying that last time we were here, Alex. Last time it was me racing in the Kia Optima versus Ellis Stevens, coming across the line to complete another lap. More battles unfolding in front. Quite a lot of cars jostling for position there as we head in towards turn 1. Red Gate, that's one of the Power Max cars going past. That's Laura Bond, I think, going past Dan Blake. So Laura Bond advancing a place, and now it's anyone's guess who's going to get the position now. It's Dan Blake versus Mads Nielsen. Mads Nielsen in the Team Carnage car. They're going through the crane of curves, and who's that behind? It is Andreas Katz in the Oculus car, side by side with Steve Walker. So loads of battles unfolding already as we head through the old hairpins. Too wide nearly. Car number 3 on the right hand side. Andreas Katz trying to go around the outside as we head up towards the right hander. Down the inside he goes on the number 21 car, the Oculus car. More contact in the back. Who's that going off? That is the GT Omega car, Dan Hunt, and another car in front of him as well. So it's all unfolding.
Yeah, Walker just trying to recover back. He's got he's got to remember he's racing for the team, so he can't just sort of retire back to the pits or anything like that. But that's going to put him all the way down in 20th place. And looks like he's got a fair bit of damage on that car right now as he just waits for one of his teammates. So he's guys not having the best connection for a moment. Oh, we're back, fortunately. Just getting a little bit panicked there for a moment. We would have lost everything. So no, we're back and all good.
So let's run you through the order at the moment. It's Apex Racing TV leading the race at the moment with Volatile Element in 2nd place. Notice how we're naming them by teams really at the moment due to the multi-cars, multi-drivers here tonight. Engine Oils Direct in 3rd. Peter Newman Media 1 and 2 in 4th and 5th. Engine Oils Direct number 1 in 6th. Team Carnage number 2 in 7th place. 8th place it is Power Max 41, as it looks like a car's got a slowdown penalty. That I don't know who that's for. And then in 9th place it is GT Omega 1 and Oculus Team 1 rounding out the top 10, Alex.
Yeah, pretty close top 10 out there. We're really struggling, I think, with whatever reason, with some connectivity, so I hope broadcast is okay. Just yet another one of glitches we're having here, so if I can tune in on that, see what's going on. But yeah, apologies for that. Car's morphing all over the place right now. Yeah, just pass it off to you for a moment, Adam, if that's okay, just while I try and have a quick look, see what's going on here, and see if I can tidy this up a little bit for our viewers.
Sure thing, Alex. Working our way then, looking here at the GTM Mega car in car number 1, that is Daniel Hunt. He's working his way through the old hairpin. He's currently in 7th place. Not too many battles unfolding at the moment. Across the line last time around, Engine Oils Direct was only a few tenths of a second away from the car in front of them, which is Volatile Element. Everyone else seems to be working their way through the first few corners without incident. We haven't seen, I don't think, any pit stops yet. It's Just trying to look at the lap times. It's a 35-lap race. We're only 6 laps in. We're about to start lap number 7. Haven't seen anyone roll the dice yet trying to get a position. Jerome Kaiser in 3rd. We'll run you through the name. We'll run you through the drivers. That's something we can do at the moment as they come across the line. Apex Racing TV leading, Sebastian Job at the head of the pack. In 2nd place, it is Robert Blumley driving for Volatile Element number 1. Sharon Kaiser in 3rd. Pete Newman in 4th. Stephen Burke in 5th. Dan Blake in 6th. 7th place, it is Daniel Hunt. 8th, Mark Johnston. 9th, Andreas Katz. 10th, Mads Nielsen. And it's starting to become a bit interesting in the battle for 10th. Mads Nielsen there leading for Team Carnage 2 in 10th, with Andrew Woodhouse in 11th position. Now, we're not biased here on Apex Racing TV, but we do like to see our co-commentator mixing it with the guys at the front of the pack. Andrew Woodhouse started in 17th place. He's up to 11th already, so a good start from him, and he can now start to put the pressure on the Team Carnage car of Mads Nielsen as they head into the right-hander.
Of course, it's all going to be for nothing, Adam, if you can't get in the car for the second stint of this race.
Yeah, so really he is a bit of a wild card at the moment. Hopefully that is going to be a shame that we won't be able to take part in the first race, but race 2, who knows the possibilities that could unfold in the second race. So as they head down the back straight, Ellis Stevens in the Paramax car behind. Will he be able to get that much of a slipstream benefit? No. However, Engine Oils Direct is up into 2nd place, I've just noticed. Sharon Kaiser in 2nd, and that might be because the Volatile Element of Robert Plumley's made a mistake. He's just lost 2 places, Alex. I don't know if we can catch that on the replay.
Yeah, let's see if I can jump back and see what went on.
Slow down. I think it's a slowdown. I'm just looking on my replay monitor as we head into the right-hander.
Oh,
yeah, too much curb, yeah.
Yeah, it smashes the curb there, and yeah, unfortunately, instant slowdown just to let the guys go. Still far enough out or in front of the second of the Pete Newman Media cars to come under too much pressure, though, so he'll continue to push on in 4th place, I'm sure, and you never know, you might be able to catch those guys up if Jerome and Newman start to fight a little bit heavier.
Battle for 2nd now unfolding then between the Engine Oils Direct Car 2 of Jerome Kaiser and Pete Newman Media number 1 of Pete Newman in 3rd. Gaps last time around as they came across the line. 3/10 of a second between them as we head into the final chicane. We're about to start lap number 9. Sebastian Job, it seems to be a recurring thing, Alex. He always seems to be leading in lap 1. Oh, sorry, in race 1.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know that Svidovic didn't take to the car person who pole time in, so he'll be in the car for the 2nd stint. Expect to fight back. Of course, we've got Lee Thompson is going to be joining Sebastian, so that's also quite a strong team as well. Not quite sure who Plumley's teammate is, so we'll keep an eye out on that. I think there's a way we can check, but I can't do it while broadcasting, unfortunately.
Working their way up to the right-hander then. It's starting to really heat up here in the battle for 2nd place. Lap number 9, just halfway through the 9th lap of the race. Sebastian Job leading by 9.1 seconds now as Pete Newman looks down the inside as we head into the right-hander. He's going to go side by side with the Engine Oils Direct car, but Jerome Kaiser pretty confident. He knows the limits of the Kia Optima. He's able to keep in front of the Pete Newman Media number 1 car as we head down the straight, and he's now being able to put a bit of distance between Jerome Kaiser, between himself and Pete Newman as we head through the chicane.
Katz Adam is having a little look at Mark Johnston right now as we come into the chicane. They're side by side, late on the brakes for Katz. Johnston's going to try and hold it. There's con between the two, but they managed to both survive, and Katz does hold on to the well, does take the position, but might just have a little bit of damage there. I think we might have our first pit stop as well. Let's take a quick look in the background. Who is that? No, that was just a slowdown penalty as well. Oh,
battle unfolding in front of them as well between Dan Blake and in the 51 car and Daniel Hunt in the 7 car. They're side by side through the crane of curves. That is really close racing there as we head down towards the old hairpin turn number 3, and it is Dan Blake that gets the position just in front of Daniel Hunt. Daniel Hunt doesn't look intent on staying there now for long though as we head through the left-hand kink and up towards the right-hander, up the hill here. Will Daniel Hunt try and lunge down the inside? He's right onto the back of that Kia Optima. I'm surprised how he didn't ram him off the road there as we head through the right-hander and up towards the back straight.
And it was Dan Blake who was Svidovic's teammate, I believe, in the blue Engine Oils Direct car there. So Svidovic will need him to try and pick up the pace. I mean, he's some 16 seconds behind the leader right now, and you know, some of the other guys are starting to gap him a little as well. Steve Burke as well is 5 seconds up the road from these guys now.
But the thing is, it's all about the strategy. And me and Andrew were talking about this on the practice a few days ago. Do you go for tyres or not? These Kia Optimas are front-wheel drive. They're probably going to be a bit reliant on those front tyres. Are you going to change the tyres at the first pit stop, or are you going to try and roll the dice and try and jump a few cars by not taking any tyres at all?
Yeah, it's an interesting call actually, and I think we're going to have to wait and see what some of the teams do out there, because I really have got no idea. I mean, as far as the time lost, I don't know how quickly these Kias will do a stop. Of course, a driver change is 30 seconds minimum, so if you can get the tyres done in and around that time, then maybe it's worth taking them, because it's a free stop. But if it's anything more than that, then you're right. There might be people out there or teams out there that are going to opt to go for track position over anything.
Battle for second is now a three-way battle for second between Jerome Kaiser, Pete Newman and Robert Plumley. We're heading down the back, so Robert Plumley just ducking out from behind. He could have a look as we're heading down towards the chicane, but he thinks better of it. No one yet pitting as we come across the line. We're not even halfway through the race yet, so it would be a bit silly to think of cars pitting, but the battle continues for Dan Blake and Daniel Hunt. They're side by side as we head down the straight. Alex, who is going to get the position here? It's Dan Blake on the inside, but Daniel Hunt has gone round the outside, I think, into Redgate. Dan Blake down the inside, he's going to have a bit of a lunge. That's fantastic from Dan Blake. I'm sure for he was out of that position and looked like he was going to lose it, but now they're side by side once again as we head down through the Craner curves.
Yeah, these guys are having a great little ding-dong. So 14 laps is when we obviously drivers have to do 14 laps. So yeah, Adam, I guess have you had any success with logging in on your own account and seeing if that session's now available for you to join?
Oh no, unfortunately, Alex, I'm still stuck on watching it on Spectator, so I'll have a look, but at the moment the battle continues for sixth. I'll have a look now.
Yeah, it's certainly worth a try on your own. Don't disconnect from the sim, so you can carry on watching it. But yeah, if you log in as your own, it might just give you the option. And I'll be back to commentating right now. Sorry about that, people. Still trying to get our third driver into that car. So Dan Blake still just half a second behind.
I don't know. Did we see the change for second, Alex? Because Robert Plumley's now in third, and the Engine Oils Direct car's now dropped from second to fourth.
Just having a quick look, see what it is now. So we're just having a little look at the replay. Just looked like a great drive into the chicane. Plumley got good move up the inside. Kaiser didn't really fight it, but then gets tapped by Plumley from behind. Manages to save it before going off. That loses him another place. So perhaps just a little bit eager into that corner. Wanted an extra place, that place, but Kaiser survives, fortunately for him. But yeah, Plumley and the volatile element car up into third place.
Really down for the updated order then, and as you said, we're approaching the pit window in this race, coming through the chicane. And it is still Sebastian Job now leading by 14 seconds. Certainly we'll have to take a mishap in the pit stops for them to close him down now. So Pete Newman in second place, Robert Plumley in third, Jerome Kaiser in fourth. Fifth place it is Stephen Burke with Daniel Hunt in sixth. Side by side in the battle for seventh though, it is Dan Blake versus Andreas Katz, the reigning series champion. Through Redgate, the first corner, Blake is dropping a few places now. He was battling with Hunt a lap ago, now he's battling with Katz. Side by side through the Craner curves, down the inside is Katz, but he's going to be on the outside for the old hairpin at turn 3. Dan Blake on the inside, they're still side by side, and Katz is just able to clear him. That is a fantastic move by Katz, but he goes off on the exit of the old hairpin. They're going to be side by side once again, and Dan Blake, oh, he gets hit. They both hit each other, and they're both off. Dan Blake into the tyre barrier hard, and that allows Katz continues, but it allows Mark Johnston to gain 2 places there, Alex.
Yeah, Johnston, thank you very much, takes that little gift. Katz survives in 8th place, just see him in the backdrop there. Our co-commentator and your teammate Andrew Woodhouse up to 9th. He's having a great job. Be gutted if he, yeah, unfortunately he's not going to get this result counted, but never mind. Just looking at the back, Dan Blake is back on as well. He's tucked up behind Mads at the moment as well, so that's 11th and 12th place. Laura Bond is trying to close in on Tim Mawson. I think that is just ahead of her at the moment in the. Is that Apex Racing 2 car? Yes, it is Apex Racing TV2 car. So, Tim out there, just steady drive from him so far. Robert Fagg, way down in Team Carnage car, 17th place. I don't know if he was caught up in, at the start, one of those few cars that went off, was 3 or 4 cars in the first lap. So,
yeah,
but you expect to see Robert right up there.
Robert Fagg, as you said, 17th place. He did start in 9th, so yeah, he's lost 8 positions already in this race. So he must have been involved in a bit of that carnage that you were talking about at the start of the race, Alex. Lap 15, Sebastian Joe, 16 seconds ahead, does not pit this time around. However, he really has the luxury of pitting when he likes, really, because there's no one really to challenge him. Coming through, Pete Newman, 2nd place, 3rd continues. Any close battles at the moment? Let's have a look. 0.3 of a second between Stephen Burke and Daniel Hunt. Daniel Hunt starting to go on the up. He started in 5th place. He's currently in 6th, so he lost a few positions at the start, and he's coming into the pits. We have our first pit stops of this multi-driver endurance
Kaiser
race.
in as well.
Kaiser in as well, so Engine All Direct 2 and GT Omega 1, they are the first cars that head into the pits. We'll see some pit stop times hopefully as they come into the box now, and they're dropping down the order, so let's see what they're doing. The clock continues.
Yeah,
changing drivers. Ben Palmer,
exactly.
Ben Palmer in for Jerome Kaiser, and who's in for Chepelewski in for Daniel Hunt. Who else have we got in? We've got Dan Blake in.
Definitely a change of tyres on one of the cars out there as well. I can see it leaning, and one of the Power Max are in as well. I mean, I think we'll see everybody in by 21 if they're going to pass through the regulations. So, but yeah, it looks like everybody's taking tyres out there, and look at how long these stops are. We're in excess of 30 seconds. Well,
Savidovic in. So what else is going on? Savidovic in 22.9 seconds for him. Chepelewski 31.7. 31.6, who's that for? That's for Ben Palmer. So Palmer and Chepelewski, similar lap times. Sorry, pit stop times. And so those are the few pit stops at the moment. Jamie Rushworth in, 31 seconds for that change of driver. And Ashley Blake Hood in as well.
Yeah, so we are looking like you can pretty much do a free pit stop if you do a driver change and take tyres. So 30 seconds it is with the driver, so 1.6 seconds just to have an extra set of tyres, I think is probably well worth it for the guys. So I would expect to see most people stop.
And it looks like you lose practically a lap as well. Sebastian Job coming up to lap Jamie Stelian Chepelewski in front of him. Lap 17 then of this first race of the evening here in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Any other cars in the moment? David Baker's got in, replacing Robert Plumley, I think, in the yellow volatile element car. Don't know how long that pit stop's taking. Sebastian Joe makes his way through the right left-hander. Will he decide to go into the pits this time? No, he continues around for another lap. 17.1 seconds the gap between him and Pete Newman. The new running order: Stephen Burke in 3rd, Mark Johnston in 4th. We've got battles there. Yeah, battle between Kev Noon and Wojciech Savidovic. So this is the Season 6 champion right on it from the get-go. These two have already made their pit stop in this race. Savidovic on the outside in that blue Engine Oils Direct car, and it's Kev Noon on the inside, but Kev Noon lets Savidovic through. I think he can tell Savidovic is a man on a mission, trying to set these lap times early. I don't know whether he took tyres in the pit stop, Alex, but he wants to make hay while the sun shines and possibly get an undercut.
Yeah, some 7 seconds slower than Noon. I wonder if Noon pitted early. There was 3 or 4 cars actually that had pitted, and I didn't take too much note to those actually with first instance. So I'm not sure Noon was one of them, but 25 seconds certainly the quickest we've seen so far. So yeah, I'm guessing that was at the start, because obviously it's minimum 30 seconds if you want to stop and change drivers. So they're still running the same driver out there.
Burke infield, Burke outfield in, Smolensky in as well. Steve Hefford's in as well. Matt Walker's just come into the pits. John Roberts is in the pits as well. However, I think that that is John Roberts. So yeah, quite a few drivers taking the opportunity to pit this lap as well.
See where Field comes out. Looks like he's currently in 14th place. There's quite a gap around him at the moment, so I believe that's Sebastian right ahead of him, so he'll go a lap down as well, Will Field. We're on fresh tyres, so we won't try and get past Seb pretty quickly, I would think, but yeah, it's going to be tricky. He's obviously got to be mindful that it is the race leader ahead of him as well.
Andreas Katz into the pit lane in the Oculus team car.
There's a good battle here, Adam, as well. Engine Oils Direct car of
Ben Palmer.
Ben Palmer, sorry, yeah.
Versus Walker, yeah. And David Baker joining in as well.
I was about to say Baker's there as well, so I'm just trying to catch up with everything as the timing screen's just all jumping around and just get us back up to date.
Andreas Katz into the pits. I don't know who replaced him whilst we were looking at that battle. It was Stefan Hoog. So Stefan Hoog taking over in the Oculus car. A few Laser Tools car making their pit stops as well. Robert bursting in. But be careful, guys, when you be joining the track. My word, that was close there. Whilst Ben Palmer and David Baker were battling over what is now 7th and 8th place. Cars yet to make their pit stop. Sebastian Joe, Pete Newman, Ellis Stevens, Mads Nielsen, Andrew Woodhouse. However, that is redundant because Woodhouse will probably get disqualification due to us not being able to race with them. Rob Fagg has still yet to make a pit stop. So 6 cars still yet to make a pit stop. And Alex, and yeah, that's it at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're all going to be in on 21. 21's the minute or the maximum they can run, with their teammates needing to do the minimum element of their fair share of the race. So yeah, 14 laps you have to do. So 21 in, and then
Woodhouse
hand
in.
over.
Woodhouse in, and that will probably be the end of his race. He might join us in the commentary box for the conclusion of this race. Sebastian Jobe, where is he? He's now working his way down the back straight, I do believe. We're expecting hopefully to see him coming in at the end of this lap, as he's got attention from a car behind who was a lap down. That is Simon Field.
And we are joined by Andrew Woodhouse. We still can't get in, I'm afraid, Andrew, so yeah, go back out there if you're allowed. Ida into the pits. He changes over. Lee Thompson jumps in the car. New set of tyres going on there as well. Little splash of fuel. Everyone so far in about that second mark.
Lee Thompson in for Sebastian Jobe.
Lee getting ready to go. 29, 30.
John Bays.
It's a long stop for these guys. We're up to 37 seconds, 38 seconds. What's going on? 40 seconds.
Blimey, something not happening there for Apex Racing TV.
45 seconds.
Yeah, 48.4 seconds for Lee Thompson in Apex Racing TV. What is that going to do to the face of this race? Sebastian Jobe had about a 20-second lead, and there come the leaders. The leaders have done it, Alex. So David Baker and Ben Palmer are now the new race leaders here at Donington Park. What happened there at Apex Racing TV? They built up a 20-second lead. What did I say before they made the pit stop? Surely they could do whatever they liked and still remain in the lead. But obviously that has not worked, and now Ben Palmer and David Baker are 1 and 2 here at Donington Park.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to investigate with those guys later. Be very disappointed with that. They just weren't released. I don't know if there was maybe some sort of speeding violation or something like that, and they had to serve that penalty on top of the driver swap there. But yeah, in total, 48.4 seconds, slowest pit stop by some margin in this event, and puts them down in 3rd place and right back in the hunt. But Baker, yeah, now looks very, very strong in the volatile element number 1 car there, right tucked up behind Ben Palmer at the moment.
Yeah, we've certainly got a race on our hands now. Apex Racing TV trying to come back from that nightmare of a pit stop. We've got just over 12 laps to go, I think, as we come across the line to start lap number 22 of this wild opening race here at Donington Park. The first time we've ever done this team racing event. In towards Redgate, the first corner. David Baker starting to close up. Lap times last time around, as I can finally get the lap time sheet out. Last time around they both did exactly the same time, 1 minute 9.9 each. Only a few hundredths separating them as we head through the Craner curves. David Baker, though, seems to be a bit more racy than Ben Palmer. Ben Palmer will start having to go on the defensive. Just an update for you, though. In 11th place, we have got Nicky Thiem, and those of you that like to watch your motorsport will definitely have heard that name before. Racing the Le Mans 24 Hours for Aston Martin, no less, and racing in the Porsche Super Cup as well. So great to have a big name like him racing in the BRSTC, Alex.
Yeah, great to see him in there under a little bit of pressure right now from Jamie Rushworth. So Jamie wants to show him what this series is all made of, I'm sure, and Steve Richardson trying to hold him up as well. So Power Max are just trying to bully him off the track at the moment.
That is fantastic to see there as the Power Max car goes wide. Number 42, that is Steve Richardson. He is off, and that's definitely going to allow his teammate Jamie Rushworth to capitalise. So Rushworth up into 11th, and that's definitely taking the pressure off Nicky Teams. Alex Malensky up in front in 8th, and let's run you through the rest of the top 5. Simon Field in 5th, Chepelewski in 4th. Third place, who's that? Lee Thompson still. David Baker still right on the back of Ben Palmer. In fact, he's closer than he's ever been before. Lap times last time around. David Baker 1/10 of a second quicker than Ben Palmer as we work our way through the Craner curves. Pretty close, but not close enough to mount any sort of a challenge just yet. However, he was much closer as we headed down the front straight. David Baker gets a good run though through the old hairpin. Ben Palmer's going to have to be on the defensive now through the left-hand kink and up towards the right-hander as we head up the hill here at Donington Park. A fantastic racetrack, one of my favourites here. As David Baker looks down the inside, but Ben Palmer has that line covered. It's all about whether you can get a good line through this right-hander, Alex, which can set you up down this back straight and give you the best possible slipstream you can.
Yes, so important, and right now you can just see Lee Thompson just in the shot as well. He's hoping these guys fight as much as they possibly can. Needs to get up to them again if he's going to salvage this race for Apex Racing TV, but Baker will want to get past as quickly as possible for exactly that reason as well. He knows that if he can get past Baker, he does look a little bit quicker than Baker out there right now, so going to put a lot of pressure on him, see if he can make a move in the next couple of laps, or this could be a three-way fight very, very quickly.
Let's not forget David Baker won the first race here at Donington Park in his championship season back in season 7, so he knows how to get it done here. But this is pretty new circumstances for all of us. Team racing, we've seen pit stops happening in the BRSTC for the first time ever, and now we're seeing David Baker versus Ben Palmer as we work our way through the right-hander and down towards the left-hander once again. Lap times last time around, Baker 1/10 of a second quicker. However, Lee Thompson is slowly picking away at him. He was 1/10 of a second quicker than David Baker last time around. He hits Ben Palmer. Yeah, he looks to hit the engine oil's direct car, and in fact that's given Ben Palmer a few extra yards. David Baker's now going to have to try and close that back up as we head through the right-hander and onto the back straight.
Yeah, once again, I don't think he's close enough to get a move, but Palmer feels the need to go very defensive, try to reduce the slipstream that Baker's getting here. Late on the brakes for both drivers, definitely not close enough, but
he's gone wide.
Deep, very deep into the corner there for Palmer. That's going to hand the lead over, surely, to David Baker right now. Palmer, they're side by side. This is going to be...
Down the inside goes Palmer. And yeah, that was good defending from him. However, Baker's going to try and get the cut back on the exit. And what did you say, Alex? Here comes Lee Thompson. He's right back in the thick of it now as we head through the Craner curves. Ben Palmer continuing to hold on grimly. He's all over the place in this Kia Optima as we head down towards the old hairpin. David Baker right onto the back, and Lee Thompson just keeping a watchful eye now. The top three are separated by 7/10 of a second as we head through the left-hander. We've now got 10 laps to go in this epic BRSTC series. The first race of the evening here at Donington Park. Through the right-hander, David Baker not able to find a way past there, but Ben Palmer, that mistake in the chicane has just brought not one but two cars onto his back bumper now.
Yeah, huge, and I have to think, looking at this, Baker looks close enough to make a legitimate move this time as well. Here we go, Palmer already going defensive. He made that move earlier on last time, line by brakes perhaps a little bit earlier this time. Just having a look, misses the curbs, no chance of a repeat incident. Was very, very cautious, but that of course has meant that his exit's not quite as good. Baker's getting a bit of a run, but I think he's going to be too far back to make a move into turn 1.
Yes, indeed, and he looks like he started to put a bit of distance, lap times last time around as they came across the line. Ben Palmer 1:10.622, David Baker 1:10.9. However, he probably lost that after getting held up by Ben Palmer through the chicane on the last lap. Lee Thompson 1:10.7, so he's continuing to pick away at these guys at the front. Stelian Chepelewski in 4th. He's 8.2 seconds behind this squabbling trio, with Simon Fields in 5th, Wojciech Savidovic in 6th, Stefan Hug in 7th, Matt Walker in 8th, Alex Malensky in 9th, and Nicky Team rounding out the top 10. Through the right-hander, top 3 still inseparable. Any other battles going on at the moment? There is one for 8th place between Matt Walker and Alex Malensky as they work their way through the right-hander. It's the 2 OGR cars as well. Who's that in front of them? That is a lapped car of Robert Burton. As we head towards the right-hander, Alex Malensky's shown in the past how he's willing to rough it up between teammates, especially in his Elite Martini days, and he's just moved out of the way, Matt Walker. So don't know what happened there, but Alex Malensky now up into 8th place.
Looks like a slowdown for Walker because Nicky Team's got through as well, so and he's just 0.7 seconds behind Smolinski now as well, so good run so far for him. Just doing a little look further down as well, it's just getting a bit close together. Let's jump back up to there, there's just half a second separating all three cars right this second.
Down through the corner curves, 9 laps to go now in this race towards the old hairpin. Baker's very good on the entrance to that corner. You saw how much he was able to close up on the Engine Oils Direct number 2 car of Ben Palmer. Ben Palmer doing a fantastic job leading this race. Sadly, I haven't got my stat sheet in front of me, but when was the last time he won a race? Possibly last season, maybe even before that, so it'd be great to see him back at the front here in the BRSTC series as we head through the right-hander. Lap times last time around, Lee Thompson the quickest out of the three of them again, and if anything it looks like he's the closest to David Baker as we head down the back straight. Ben Palmer working his way over to the right-hand side just to try and disrupt the slipstream that David Baker could get in towards the final chicane. Baker good on the brakes, he closes up on the Engine Oils Direct car, but still not as close as he would like to try and get past that car, Alex.
No, that was a great line through though, and you could see the amount of time that he closed up through there. I thought for a minute he was going to get a run down here into turn 1, but as a little look maybe around the outside, just a different line. Actually all three drivers there just taking slightly different lines, trying to get a better run off and down into the corner curves.
And now there's 8 laps to go. David Baker trying to look down the inside in towards the corner curve, still no way through. Ben Palmer working his way onto the curbs there. He doesn't want to go too far onto that side of the track, otherwise he might end up in the grass and end up in a world of issues. Through the left-hander, Lee Thompson in fact dropped back quite a bit, 1.1 seconds now between him and David Baker, so possibly made a bit of an error, maybe run wide through the old hairpin because he's now 1.2 seconds behind David Baker. Through the right-hander then, onto the back straight towards the final chicane. I think Baker's as close as he has ever been, Alex, and I think Ben Palmer senses that. He moves over to the right-hand side of the track, but he moves back, so that's a bit naughty. You don't want to do that in case David Baker's alongside. He's now not got the best line for the chicane, and that's definitely going to allow David Baker the opportunity to get the place. He's right on the back of the Engine Oils Direct car as we come across the timing line. Who was in front of the line? It was still the Engine Oils Direct car. David Baker just not finding a way through. Is he going to try and go around the outside, or is he going to try and get the cut back on the exit? I think that's what he's trying to do, but he's just not close enough, Alex, still.
No, once again, I mean, we see Baker very, very good through the chicane. I have to say, if he can get alongside, then I think that he definitely has the car to get himself past Palmer through that chicane. So I think that's where the move's going to be. But it doesn't seem to have that much coming out of the chicane and into turn 1, which is quite surprising. So,
that's very
close. Thompson back on him again, just took all of 2 laps there. So these three very, very nip and tuck at the moment.
Coming through the right-hander onto the back straight, David Baker not as close as he was a lap ago, but he could close up in the slipstream, and that's what he's trying to do. He moves over to go into the wheel tracks of Ben Palmer in towards the final chicane. Not close enough, but he does have a lunge, possibly setting himself up for a move in the final few laps of the race where the gloves really come off. Ben Palmer working his way all over the racetrack, trying to disrupt the slipstream there. It's working though. David Baker hasn't been able to find a way past yet, and I think soon he'll have to look in the mirrors, and he looks down the inside. That is a fantastic lunge, and he hits him. He hits Ben Palmer, and David Baker surely will take the race lead. It's all about whether Lee Thompson will get second place now as we head down through the corner curves, and he does. So a bit of a bump and run there from David Baker. He's now into the lead, and Ben Palmer, I'm sure, will be furious about the fact that he's been putting up such a great defence throughout the entire race, and now has been shoved down to 3rd.
Yeah, he seems really eager to try and get back up into second place and get towards Baker as soon as possible, putting the pressure on Thompson right now. Has a little look up the inside door, gets shut very firmly there, but Thompson's line gets compromised a little bit here. This is going to give Palmer an option to have a move up to the inside. Just shows his nose, just trying to disrupt Lee there. If Lee gets the slipstream, it's going to be very, very difficult for Palmer to make a move. And I have to say, pretty close is Palmer. He's got an opportunity here into the chicane to try and get this second place back.
Here we go, into the chicane. Not close enough. Lee Thompson maintains his second place, but I'm sure Ben Palmer is not giving up yet. We're going to come across the line with 5 laps to go, and Lee Thompson makes a right mess of the exit. The chicane puts a few wheels into the grass, and now Ben Palmer's all over the place. He's going to go down the inside, surely. Hard on the brakes, surely, with the engine oil's direct car. Yes, down the inside, but there's going to be contact. It's there. I don't know whether that was there. He's rubbed him wide, and they were continuing to rub as we head down through the corner curves. Who's going to have the best possible line for the old hairpin? I think it will be Ben Palmer, or will it down the inside and towards turn 3? And it is still side by side. That is fantastic. Lee Thompson versus Ben Palmer for second place in this race, and Lee Thompson, I think, will he hold on to second place as we head into the right-hander? I think he will just. So that was fantastic there. For one moment it looked like Ben Palmer had got that second place, but Lee Thompson, fantastic attacking there at Apex Racing TV car to hold on.
It's not over with yet either. 1.8 seconds ahead in just one lap goes to show what all the side-by-side battle it can do. Once again, Palmer gets a great run out of the final curve there towards the chicane. The side-by-side heavy on the brakes for Palmer. He gets back into second, overshoots it a little bit, but Thompson has to check up to avoid hitting him, so just sort of compromise both of them there enough, but Palmer holds on to the position. Thompson again maybe having a look in the inside, not quite getting close enough. Baker 2.5 seconds ahead now, 4 laps to go. He must have this one in the back.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the case, but who would have thought that?
Oh, Hoogan field here side by side into turn 1 as well, just looking a little bit further back. Who gets the position there? So that's the Oculus car up ahead of the Beatney Media car there. All of a sudden the field behind is actually really close back in. You've got Nicky Tim and Matt Walker having a bit of a battle, so Walker got back up towards his teammate after that. Jamie Rushworth finds himself up into 8th place as well, so he's slowly been working his way through, leading this little pack at the moment. Ashley Blake Hood closing in on Richard Gore just a little bit further behind those as well.
Yes, indeed. 3.5 laps to go now. Jimmy Rushworth just holding on ahead of Alex Smolensky as we head to the right-hander. Smolensky was Jimmy Rushworth's replacement, Elite Martini. So those two former Elite Martini drivers, well, Rushworth back at the team at the moment. But as we head through the right-hander, Smolensky not close enough to mount any sort of a challenge, I don't think, on the Season 4 champion of the BSRTC. 3 laps to go, 2.5 seconds now between David Baker and Ben Palmer, 2 seconds back to Lee Thompson in third. Selin Chepelevsky only 4 seconds behind, but I don't think he's going to be able to mount any sort of a challenge.
Nicky having a little look into the chicane. He's got straight past Matt Walker there. Great move on the brakes. Walker may get the run back. Nicky's having a little look to try and defend the inside there. Walker around the outside. He's got the run. There's a little turn in. Perhaps Paul tries to pinch him a little bit down into the corner. He's not going to have any of that. Him there just runs him out wide onto the dust there. No traction there for Walker at all, but still trying to keep his nose. He's turning him there. And I'm joking.
Nicky, I think Nicky's is loving all this BSRTC action. However, I don't think he can cut across a car when he's alongside, and Nicky's now lost that place to Matt Walker. Great battling there between them, and I think there's more battling up front between Smolensky and Rushworth as we head through the right-hander.
Yeah, just having a little look at that now. Smolensky's getting, he's quick out there today. Definitely moved this OGR car up, and he's already side by side with Rushworth going into the chicane. And we've got a back marker ahead as well. Is that? No, that's not. That's field ahead, is it? No, it's not. It is a back marker. I'll be quiet now.
Interesting.
Smolensky didn't manage to get past somehow. I'm not really sure. I thought that was a slam dunk move. But,
Rushworth parked his car on the apex. Yeah, he parked his car on the apex, and Smolensky just couldn't find a way by. I was looking at the pit stop times just to say, oh, be careful, guys. I was just looking at the pit stop times to see whether Rushworth had only taken fuel instead of tyres to maybe explain why Smolensky's closing onto the back. But no, both of them took 31 seconds in the pit stop. So both of them racing on equal tyres and equal fuel, maybe, as we head in towards the old hairpin. 1.5 laps to go. And this is probably the closest pass we've got on track at the moment. 0.3 of a second separating Rushworth and Smolensky. Everyone else seems to have spread out, but a fantastic first team race in the BSRTC. Hopefully me and Andrew will be able to get out for the second race of the evening. I'll certainly hope to do that because I love this racetrack, I love the Kia Optima, and I love the BSRTC, and I'm sure it'll be great racing in the second race as well. David Baker comes across the line to start the final lap of the race. Who would have thought that? Really started in 4th place. Robert Plumley had a brief stint at leading, but then had a slowdown penalty, gave up the position, and after the pit stop, after a nightmare of a pit stop for Apex Racing TV, which dropped them from 1st to 3rd, David Baker was right where he needed to be and sort of nudged Ben Palmer out of the way a few laps ago to take that lead back. But meanwhile, Smolensky and Rushworth, the battle is still on for this 8th position, Alex.
Yeah, let's just jump back and look in that as we were being in there to David Baker looking pretty strong out there. Savidovic as well as closing in on the back of Chepelevsky as well. So that's getting quite tasty, just 4/10 separating those as well. But Smolensky doesn't seem like he's close enough to make a run this time on Rushworth. There is a little bit of traffic there ahead. That's going to give Rushworth a little bit of draft, maybe get his way, I don't know. So but I need to switch up actually to this battle because our leader's coming across the line. Let's watch Baker take it. We're going to have Palmer followed by Thompson, but 1/10 of a second separates Stellion and Wojciech, and there's contact between the two of them.
And is it going to be Chepelevsky? Oh, Savidovic's got to slow down, I think, and he's going to have to take it before he crosses the line.
Where is Hoog? No, he's far enough back.
I think Savidovic might have just served his penalty in time.
Smolensky's got Rushworth. I don't know what happened there, but they're side by side going through the chicane. I think
drag race to the line. Whoa! That is incredible.
Rushworth's going to get it. Is he going to get it? On my screen, he's ahead.
3 wide across, 4 wide across the line. And who got it? It was 8th, Power Max 41. That's Rushworth. 9th was Smolensky, and then in 10th it was Matt Walker with Team Carnage 11th of Nicky Team. 12
Apex. Have a little read at that back. Sorry, Adam. I just thought we were on board. We didn't really see too much of what happened through there. And again, we get a really random camera angle just when we don't want one. But but yeah, you can see him just hopping over the track, and yeah, very much near enough 4 wide. What a great shot there. Sorry, mate. Back to you with the order.
Yeah, no problem. 12th place for Apex Racing TV2. Who was driving that? That was Richard Gore. 13th. For Volatile Element, that is driving that car as my time screen updates itself, please. Number 13, Volatile Element. Number 2 is Ashley Blake Hood, yeah,
Hackerton as well.
14th for Pete Newman Media, number 1 of John Bays. 15th for Steve Richardson for Powermax 42. Team Carnage number 1, Lee Berridge in 16th. 17th GT Omega number 2, that's Julian Janowski. 19th was Volatile Element number 3, that was Paul Smith. 19th, Engine Oils Direct number 3 of Andrew Whitehead. And then 20th for that 1 lap down, Laser Tools number 1 of Scott Malcolm. 21st, 1 lap down, Oculus Team number 2 of Matt Owen. 22nd, 3 laps down, Robert Burton. And then unfortunately, hopefully we can get him in a minute to talk to him, Apex Racing TV number 3 of Andrew Woodhouse. After starting in 17th, he had a great race up until the pit stop, and then in 24th place was Oculus Team number 3 of Steve Hefford. And that is the classified results. Alex, what a fantastic race.
Yeah, it was a great race actually, and I mean it looked like Thompson was going to have a walk in the park at the end there. We need to find out what's happened there. Hopefully Andrew will be in contact with the team and we'll know exactly what's gone on there, because I mean that pit stop was just crazy compared to anybody else out there right now, and yeah, it cost them the race basically. They had it in the bag, but Baker fought Palmer well, little bump and run. Maybe Palmer will be a bit disappointed with that in the end, because it looked like he was doing a good job of holding on, but still I'm sure he'll be delighted with second place nonetheless.
I see it's lighting. Yeah, go on, Alex.
So I was going to say, I think a driver who will be a little bit disappointed out there will be Savidovic, down in 5th place actually. I mean, put it on pole, just didn't quite have the run of luck at the start, and his teammate there got sort of freight trained a little bit in those early laps and lost a lot of places, and yeah, down in 5th. So
I see it's already lighting up in the chat. Jerome Kaiser, the Ben Palmer's co-driver for this race, saying that was a bit naughty there by David Baker, but yeah, David Baker able to take the win. I was going to see if we could get Andrew Woodhouse in for a quick word, but any sign of him? Whilst we're doing that, reverse grid, it's exactly the same, I do believe, for this second race, is it, Andrew, or are we reducing the numbers?
Well, we'll have to reduce the numbers, but the dice is still the same amount. So we'll bring that up in just a short second. But
Andrew
of course,
Woodhouse.
what is different is the way the teams work is that they've got to line themselves up. So we'll actually see some sort of organisation on that rather than being placed on the grid. So yeah, just if they're wondering what's going on at the start of the second race,
we'll run that down. Yeah.
Well, I did want to speak to Andrew, but he jumped out already.
Hopefully we'll get to speak to him whilst we're in a commercial break. For the second race of the evening, what they're going to do is everyone will start from the pit lane. The series organisers will call each car out one by one. They'll then line up in their positions, and then they'll throw a caution flag. The safety car will come out, they'll do a few laps, and then the race will begin from a staggered start, I do believe. So that is what will happen in race 2. And is it time for the reverse grid? Let's find out.
Yep. Yeah, I've got the magic dice up, so we've much got a potential for a full reverse grid here. So let's just take a little look. We'll do our 3 dummy rolls. There may be a few numbers that would mean we'll have to do a re-roll, which will be the first time in history. So right, there's our 3 rolls, and the pole position is going to go to 20th.
Laser Tools number 1, they were 1 lap down, and that is Scott Malcolm who crossed the line with them. So Laser Tools onto pole position. That is definitely going to be a turn up for the books. Engine Oils Director number 3 is in 2nd place. That is Andrew Whitehead. 3rd, it is Volatile Element number 3 of Paul Smith. 4th, it is Lee Berridge. So 4th is Julian Janowski for GT Omega 2. And then 5th, it is Team Carnage number 1 of Lee Berridge. Andrew Woodhouse, I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to join you for the second stint of the race. The technical issues just continue to plague us here in the BSR TV commentary booth, but you're having a fantastic race, battling with Ella Stevens. Team racing, it certainly seems to work in the BSRTC.
Or not if you're our team.
Yeah, true. Yeah, unfortunately we were unable to get in, and I wondered if you knew also, just to sort of carry on from Adam's question, what happened to Seb and Lee as well, 48-second stop?
No idea at all.
Well, hopefully Adam will be in the car with you next race, but look like you're having a lot of fun out there until the pit stop.
Yeah, it was fun. Nielsen's a danger and he should be banned.
What happened? Will we be able to review that?
No, twice, making 2 moves on straights, moving in front of me. I don't think that's right. You know, he moves across to the right to defend, then moves back to the middle. So I move to the right, and then he moves to the right again. And then wonders what happens when I somehow slightly accidentally miss my braking point and punt him off. I pass him, I get past him, and then he hits me up the arse. Yeah, sorry, but just you don't drive like that.
I'm sure the admins will take a look at it, make sure, like everyone, mate, you put your protest in if that's the case. So I didn't see it on stream, so I can't comment on it.
But it was a good race. It's hard to pass out there. The tyres are going off quickly. It's very, very hot. Getting a lot of understeer. The old hairpin's almost impossible.
It is. I can speak from practice. It was bad in practice, and we were only doing single lap runs, Andrew. So in the race, it must be a bit of a nightmare.
Halfway through the race, but obviously I had no idea what was going on. I come into the pits, find out I'm out of the race. So
yeah, very frustrating. Hopefully, next one you guys will be okay.
Yeah, and rolling starts as well. So I think, really, can we leave it there, or have we got any incidents we want to review? Or
yeah, I think that's it. We'll jump to a quick commercial break while the session's getting itself organised. We'll be back in probably about 10 minutes, I think, by the time it's all sorted out. Obviously, there'll be a little while just for the drivers to take to the grid and get themselves into the relevant position. But stay tuned here on BSR TV. We'll be back for what is round 4, round 13? 14, round 14, isn't it, of the BSRTC Pro Series.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com. Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome back
we still...
to BSR TV. Alex Simpson, Andrew Woodhouse, and Adam Bath here for what will be the second of the two races tonight. Overcast conditions are going to be the order of the second round. We've got a little while. Oh yeah, until drivers sort themselves out. We're going to wait for the grid to form up as well. as it's going to be a manual reverse grid time. So we're just going to just show you some pictures for the moment. We'll be back in just a short second.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Back to BSRT, Alex Simpson for BSRTD Pro Series here at Donington Park. Very, very exciting first race. Lots went on, could have won it anyway, and in the end, David Baker in the volatile element car took the victory with Ben in place after what has been described to me off-air, cheeky little bump and run. And I think I would probably agree with that. Lee Thompson, after that Apex TV car had what was close enough to a 20-second lead before the pit stops, only managed third place due to whatever incident it was in the pits. I haven't heard, I haven't seen. There might have been some posts on the YouTube channel, I'm afraid. Haven't been able to catch him with there. A lot of technical glitches here this evening, so I'm just glad that we actually still got broadcast going to you guys, and yeah, apologies for all of the commercials there as well. Just a little bit of a longer break as interval between this one while we wait for the session and all the practice and everything to take shape. But got about 3 minutes or so left of warm-up session, so we'll just leave the guys to their things right now. But just having a quick look again at the track conditions. Overcast, I mentioned, has come in, so yeah, it's going to be quite cold out there. Track temperature just 27 degrees, so it's going to be very, very cold. What that will mean for the drivers is it's going to be tricky for those first couple of laps. Fortunately, it is going to be a roll-in start. We are going to form up into an order as well, so there is a little bit of time for drivers to heat in the rear of those, the rear tyres. So maybe not as bad as we've seen previously. Not too much wind as well, so might just help settle the rear just a little bit. Worth pointing out, Andreas Katz holds the BSR record round here, 1:08, just 0.93, and he struggled a little bit in that last race. We didn't really see him too much at the front, so maybe the reverse grid will see him fighting up there. Joined now by Andrew Woodhouse. He's going to be sitting at the first stint this time, and his teammate, who is in, yay, is Adam Barth. So welcome Andrew. And,
hi there, mate.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the start of this race. I guess the drivers have had a little brief about what's going to happen now. Have you got any idea, or are we just going into this blind and going to roll around into our relevant grid spot?
I believe they're coming out, parking on the back straight before the chicane, and then going and doing a formation lap, going onto the grid, and I believe it's a standing start, but I'm not 100%. No, it'll be a rolling start. Sorry, yeah. But the leader will have the honour, so to speak.
Yeah, okay.
Of the safety car. So
yeah, so there won't be an actual safety car. So yeah, that should be.
I believe so.
can work well. And
unless
take a little
they'll
bit
put
of
out a safety
coordination.
car, I'm not really sure. I mean, I suppose they could put a safety car out because the race will have officially started. Won't it?
Yeah, that would make sense to do it that way. So they're all going to be on the grid to start off with, and then they're just going to cruise around to the back, get themselves in order, and
I'm guessing they'll
sort
throw.
out, so.
I'm guessing they'll throw the yellow, and then that'll.
Yeah, I guess once they're in order, they'll throw the yellow, because obviously if they do it beforehand, they can't swap and change positions, can they? So yeah, just working around the sim. Obviously, reverse grid doesn't work yet in the team. Sort of into the team sessions, so they can't organise any of that. So something that the developers need to take on board, because it's good that I think that we're using these team events. But yeah, of course we wanted to fit into the championship, and the dice and the reverse grid is part and parcel of the BRSTC now.
Yeah, and it's good for the teams to gain some points towards that $4,000 prize fund for prize money, or first place in the team's championship. Share of $10,000 cost for the first 4 teams. The drivers' champion winning $1,000, but the drivers' points are not up for grabs here. So, it felt like it was quite difficult to overtake in race 1. Was that the case all the way through the field?
Yeah, it looked quite tough. Normally we see quite decent runs. I mean, really the only place was into the chicane. A couple of guys with some moves into turn 1, but even I noticed that looked like it was people weren't getting quite as much draft there this time here at Donington as they were previous. So
yeah.
Right, so okay,
I'm just
so
hoping I'm hoping I get another stint. Overcast conditions, anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. The interesting thing will be now. I mean, obviously, a few drivers probably watching this, but are you thinking about taking tyres or not? I mean, that's going to be the interesting thing. I mean, it's quite cold out there now. You can probably afford not to take them, but it looked like people were almost able to have a free tyre change out there with the driver swap. So
it's an interesting decision if you didn't, but there are benefits to both ways, I think, and that's my ambiguous answer.
Okay, so everybody's starting from the pits then. That's what's going to happen. No, there's a couple of cars out there that are on the grid who probably haven't got the message.
Oh no, because I think there's one car on the grid, and that will mean...
Oh no, there is.
Alright.
Yep, so lights are going to go out, everybody's going to start from the pit lane, and we're just going to cruise around.
As a team race, reverse grid is a very unusual... would be a very unusual thing in real life. I don't think it really happens very often. I'm not sure.
Well, no, because normally the endurance events
series do it, maybe.
I don't know.
Reverse grid. Sure.
Just normally team races and swaps are usually endurance, aren't they? So, and what we've done tonight is an endurance for our series. It's double the length, really, or more than that in some sense. But but still quite short as far as some of these endurance events go. So
this is quite good how they're doing this, I think.
Yeah, everybody out waiting now, which is good. That's exactly how they should do it.
And
who was on reverse grid pole, so he's just going to cruise around to the back straight, and then they're going to set the. Actually, they'll get the car coming very soon. Here he comes, Andrew Whitehead. Thinking about it.
What they could have done is they could have lined up at the end of the pit road, thrown the safety car, and just done one lap under the safety car.
Yeah, true.
But it's one of those things. I suppose it gives you another lap, doesn't it, to iron out if anybody's in the wrong place or anything like that.
Gas pedals on the right, Andrew. Come on, mate, step on it. Here we go. We'll be here all night at that pace.
I know there's keeping your tyres in good nick, isn't there? And then there's shopping trolleying it around.
Steve Walker's next, so this is certainly a little bit different for us, Andrew. We don't normally have to do this. It's almost
what's your driving analysis of this?
It's almost like an introductory, isn't it, to the show? It's like, and welcome, Steve Walker. Tonight.
And who's next? We don't know. Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be a racing driver. But I didn't hear that, so they're going to have to type it out at some point.
Stevens is he? No, he's
doing Omega. So that's
Oh no, here it comes.
Zuzov?
Stanimir Zuzov, yeah.
So he's
out
in.
next.
He's in the running, isn't he, for the safest driver award at the moment, isn't he? And I
Yeah,
think
he's
the $500.
I'm not sure how much it is now, but
Which
yeah,
is
is
available.
he totally clean, no incidents or something?
I'm not sure about the first race, but he's got the least incidents in the series, I believe. GT Omega car.
I think people have forgotten about that one. They
he's
just went
sharing-
out there and just. Rah!
He's sharing
But,
that car with Julian Janowski. So with Zuzov and Janowski. What was the reverse grid dice? What was the number on it?
Now you're asking. Who knows? 16? 20? I can't remember.
20.
What it was.
It's one of them. It's a number between 14 and 26 or something. So Lee Berridge and Rob Fagg, Team Carnage, they're coming out next. Then it's Apex Racing 2, so that's Tim Mawson, Richard Gore.
We definitely should be introducing these live TV shows. And next up, it's Tim Mawson in the number 62 car for Apex Racing TV 2.
Oh, like a bit of channeling Will Vincent there a bit. Essentially our old mate there, but like from England.
And Tim runs wide, just picks up a little bit of gravel and to go a little bit too fast there, Tim. Slow it down, son. Oh, you gotta have a laugh.
So 88 is Team Carnage, aptly named. Nicky Team in that car, former Porsche Super Cup driver.
Right, who's next? Come on.
It should be 88 Team Carnage. Theory. We might need that 1 hour and 40 minutes for the unofficial race time there. It's the 92 car. It's Mike Johnston and Matt Walker of Gleam Racing. And then Alex Smolensky and Russell Laidler. So Smolensky starting that one off, and then Laidler. 41 car is next out. That's Jamie Rushworth and Laura Bond there. They were down in I think they were about 8th, weren't they, Rushworth and Bond? I think Rushworth had a bit of an eventful last lap. Did you catch all that big gaggle coming across?
Yeah, that was huge actually. And a little bit further back, we caught a little eye on that. So I am actually now. Some of our technical glitches have gone away as well. We're back on, and I can see some of the chat as well.
Simon Field and Steve Burke.
There's your shout out, mate. Steve Burke.
Steve Burke and Simon Field. They're out. So Simon Field is in that car to start with. Pete Newman Media.
Oh, yep, there he is.
Then it's Engine Oil Direct with Dan Blake and Wojciech Savidovic.
Just leave it on the pit lane here. They all come. Yeah, that's better camera angle.
17th place, Alex, is the number 7 GT Omega car. Stelian Chepalewski and Daniel Hunt. That's a strong team.
Yeah, they look quick in the warm up as well. So car look very, very strong.
Lee Thompson, Sebastian Job. Number 61, Apex Racing TV. Then it's number 1, Volatile Element. That's Robert Plumley and David Baker. They'll be difficult to beat, I think, even from that position on the grid.
Yeah, Plumley, he was very quick actually in that first in. After his slowdown penalties, he still managed to catch up pretty strong.
And it's the Oculus car of Kevin Noon and Matt Owen. And it's number 20, Laser Tools 2, I believe. Robert Burton. Oh no, that's not them. They were a pole. I think. Got that mixed up a little bit there. Then it's Apex Racing TV 3.
While we're fixed on the pit lane cam here right now, some of the spectators obviously moving around and what they've introduced now, but I just think they just need. That's all iRacing need to do now. Just get a bit more of an interactive crowd and outside edge of the track. You know, just flags and things like that. Just to get a bit more movement, and I think actually their our
Adams
are going to be
leaving
great.
Adam's leaving the garage at some point, I think. Come on. What's going on there? Lose a place.
Jump up and turn. Get out there. Here he goes.
Then there's Nicky team right at the back for Team Carnage. So 2 cars that were locked in battle in the first race, Alex, are going to be there again. The back of the grid this time, and then your own Kaiser and Ben Palmer sharing the 52 engine or direct car that's going to be on the back row.
Okay, so we just jump up to obviously Rob Burton. We're just waiting for everybody to form up around us now as well. So, but yeah, Burton, of course, has got the honours.
Yeah, so he's going to have. So there's going to be 1 pace lap, I believe. Then, and the safety car, I think, will come out. And then the safety car is going to lead them round at the pace speed. And then we're going to have the green flag at the end of the next lap.
Yeah, it took a little while to get organised actually, but they've done it rather well, all the drivers as well, so as the admin, so big shout out to them, made it work considering the limitations of the software at the moment, so everybody's intact, and yeah, like I say, I think if we'd done a little bit more, definitely we'd have done a bit of a driver bio thing or something like that. We'll have to do that for the next one.
Yeah,
we'll definitely bring some more information up on that. So, all from my part there, I'm afraid.
Adam has got his position. I think he should be ahead of the Oculus car, really, but
Right, everybody's all lined up. So we're just waiting for the admin, I think, really, to tell us where we're at.
So we're going to get... They're all starting to go away.
Pace lap going to be led by Rob Burton. He's going to launch it now. We've seen one. We've seen here comes the caution. There you go. So we're going to have the safety car lead us around as well. So we'll have a couple of laps under caution here.
I'm getting a lot of spotter noise in my ear now.
Yeah, of course you will do. As you got to get ready to jump in.
Catch the 52 car. Catch the 4 car. Catch the car stopped ahead. Car stopped ahead. Car stopped ahead. Yes.
So there we go. The base car's out. Rob's just slowly catching up to it. Who was it this season? We've seen a couple of drivers this season go a little bit early, haven't we? And they've had to check up for the pace car.
Well, the main one was here, wasn't it? Flanagan, Jim Flanagan, last time round.
Flanagan.
That was the mother of all bad restarts, wasn't it? And
and of course, carnage happened as well. There, people crashed into each other left, right, and centre. But didn't it happen at Indianapolis as well? Yeah, I'm sure as well. It was like, oh god.
I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure who that was. Last week, I think it was Paul Smith, wasn't it? Actually,
yeah, I think
he really went too early, and shenanigans sort of happened. I need to actually just give me a second. I was going to check with Adam something.
Just while Andrew steps away. Looks like we've got one driver that's yeah, I'm not quite sure what. Mark Johnston for a minute was just showing a bit out of position. I'm not really sure what that was about. So it seems like he's come out afterwards, so he's shown actually a lap down. So yeah, I'm not sure at all what's going on there, but perhaps just missed coming out on the pits on the first time round, so not gone completely to plan by the looks of it. Whitehead, of course, will want to put a move really quickly on Burton, so will Walker as well. Steve Walker be disappointed after that race. He's certainly got the potential to move up very, very quickly. Yeah, Zuzan, Berridge, Stevens behind them.
Just sorting the strategy out there. Some last minute planning.
Yeah, 38 laps as well, so we've got a little bit longer race this time as well because of obviously all these pace laps that they're doing. So
we're about to get the green flag, Alex. No, we're not.
Yeah, one more. I think lights are still on a pace car. Yeah. Yeah, I think that because the race
still 3 laps. It'll be 38, 36. Yeah,
so
35. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Same distance again, won't it? It turned out that a lot of the we put too much fuel in last time, so hopefully we've got a bit less this time.
Always the thing with these pit stops, never really been done in the Kia in this series before, so...
Well, Adam was saying that he's never done a racing pit stop on iRacing, Alex, so...
Oh dear.
It's a time to do your first one, isn't it?
I was about to say, that's why he's in the comms box, not the car normally.
We're starting... we're now starting second to last, it looks like, which I think is where we were supposed to be, so...
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, apparently, because... Apparently,
Mark
they've given
the further down.
Oh no, in fact, no, we are at the back. So, actually, that's probably on a overcast start. Might be the best place.
Yeah, it gives him plenty of time to see what's going on ahead, and
the thing is,
maybe try and work his way through some traffic because everybody's checking up a little bit.
Unfortunately, because of the first race and what happened at the end, we had no chance of getting the reverse grid pole anyway, or getting anywhere near the front of that. So it's all about damage limitation, isn't it? In this one, maybe if there's a safety car, we can move up later on. But I think realistically, if we can get inside the top 15, I think it'll be a good result.
Yeah, well, of course, obviously it's top 2 cars from each team count. So Richard Bourne and Tim Mawson would have scored points for Apex as well as Lee and Seb. So yeah, obviously you guys are just trying to help contribute that. I was just saying there was 3 engine oils direct cars as well, but only the top 2 count. So yeah, those new to the series might be thinking, well, hold on a minute, these guys have got more than others. It's yeah, some teams are just fielding cars because they're the only ones to count, where some have fielded they put the reserves drivers in, but only their top 2 will count right now.
So the top 5: Robert Burton, Andrew Whitehead, Steve Walker, Stanimir Zuzov, and Lee Berridge. So we're about to, as the lights are off on the pace car, Alex, we're going to get green flag racing very, very shortly.
Yeah, 3 laps the guys have had to warm up their tyres. They've been going pretty slow, so might still be a bit tricky into this turn 1. We're about to find out here. Our TV and 4th evening racing here on the Pro Series. Lights are out, pace car's in, Burton's away, we're racing.
I am amazed he got such a good jump after waiting so long to actually go. He didn't really back the field up, did he? But he's managed to get a 1 second lead into turn 1. Goes into turn 1 with not a lot of difficulty, it has to be said. Everyone looks like got the tyres up to temperature. They've had 3 laps, Alex. You'd think that you wouldn't have an excuse to still be running out there on cold tyres. As Robert Plumley's at the back, what is that?
Yeah, not sure quite what Robert's way down there, but he is. But everybody survived, and we are as you are. But apart from Robert Burton's got a 9/10 of a second lead, make that 1 second. As Steve Walker just puts a move on Whitehead there as well.
Some people struggling near the back. I think one of the Oculus cars was on the grass and going through there. And there's a crash with one of the Oculus cars. I don't know if Adam Bath was involved. I think he's got a bit of damage. Steve Hefford and Scott Malcolm, I think, hit each other, and possibly Kevin Noon as well. So it's all kicking off there.
Yeah, it's very close, sort of in and around the mid-pack as well. So it's 0.3 of a second everywhere. So just let this pack filter down a little bit before we start to see what's going on. Walker, that said, already closed 0.6 of a second in half a lap there, so he's going to be all over Burton very, very quickly. We said he was strong at the start of this race.
Rushworth trying to go up the inside of Mawson into the first corner. He's now side by side in the Craners and into the old hairpin. Jamie Rushworth is going to go up the inside of Tim Mawson, and he makes it stick. And the Apex Racing TV car and through goes the Oven Gleam Racing car of Smolenski. That's really good opportunistic driving, and you can see one of the Pneumo Media cars is there, Alex, as well.
Yeah, that was great driving by Smolenski there, got himself up ahead, and that's Field that slipped through as well. Mawson lost about 6 places in that corner there, so being a little bit conservative and letting Jamie have it ended up costing him big time. He's got his teammate Lee Thompson right behind him. Walker's making a move for the lead though. The chicane gets it all wrong. Sorry, that wasn't Walker. Walker had already got past. It was Burton. Sorry, that was up the inside and made contact with Walker. So Walker back down to second after initially getting alongside and up ahead. And they're fighting behind Zuzov.
Zuzov makes a good move on the brakes.
Oh, he's deep. He's very deep. He's going to lose all sort of momentum, and we've got Whitehead coming back through, and Lee Berridge as well.
Pushing past Zuzov, and it's all kicking off down there. You've got Ellie Stevens side by side with Nicky Team. Stevens is going to go through on the GT Omega car of Stanimir Zuzov. Nicky Team's going to try and make it 3-1. That's almost impossible, but he's going to do it on the outside. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there, and there's a lot of contact there with Zuzov. Off goes Team. Off goes Zuzov.
Yeah, that's race end carnage there, and Zuzov's not got the Climax, cleanest race drive award anymore. That would be a
and he's come
disaster
back
for
on
him.
the track. One of them's come back on the track. I think it was Zuzov. Adam Bath under pressure from Laser Tools car, Scott Malcolm, and there's contact there between the two of them. I'm watching with clenched buttocks.
0.2 of a second separates the front two again. Walker having a little look on Robert Burton here.
Oh, contact between Plumley and Malcolm at the chicane, but yeah, Walker's round the outside trying to go around the outside of Burton. Burton keeps the car nice and tidy through the crane as Alex sets up for the old hairpin, and the old hairpin's much easier in these conditions. A lot more grip available to these drivers.
Yeah, of course, the piston heat out there just burns up the rubber really quickly.
Lee Berridge is going well. He's making a move for third. On Andrew Whitehead. Whitehead's going to get the cutback though. Is he going to go up the inside into Coppice? I don't think he's going to quite make it alongside. Yellow flag was waving somewhere along the course.
I'm not quite sure what that was, but
I think that's just me, because I suppose my teammate is in the race. We've seen somebody going off the track in front. Adams got up to 18th place behind Hefford.
Make that 17th.
Car doesn't look that good though, mate. I'm going to have to repair that. I think going to hit it with a hammer before I get in it.
Yeah, going to be needed. Rushworth on Lee Thompson. Rushworth just 0.1 of a second. He's pushing him down the start-finish lane. Lee sort of defends it a little bit, decides it's probably best just to run the normal line. There's GT Omega car just in front of the pair of them on the outside. So very, very close. A lot of good drivers around there. Thompson, Rushworth, Chepelevsky, Smolenski as well. All very fast in that last race. So
Jeroen
Rushworth,
Kaiser,
great move there.
Jeroen Kaiser's got ahead of Mawson. Mawson's down to 14th. And then it's Simon Fields close behind. Just in front of Andreas Katz. Ben Hackerson is up in 6th place. Mark Johnson's a lap down in the middle of all that. Ellis is up to 5th for Power Max, and he's attacking Andrew Whitehead now, Alex.
Yeah, very, very close on Whitehead. Whitehead already thinking about going defensive if he's waiting. He's probably left it light to cover the inside. Stevens has a little look, but actually just doesn't quite get as much of a run as I was thinking, and misses the apex through the chicane. He's going to put himself under pressure from Hackerson.
That's a lapped car of Mark Johnston, Alex.
Oh, is it?
In Ovengleam Racing.
Oh, take it back. I thought it was Hackerson.
Sorry, he's a lap down.
Of course,
just
in the
there,
volatile car. Yeah.
Atkinson's just there in 6th. He's had a good season. He's been impressive, hasn't he?
Berridge on Burton. Yeah, you're right. Actually, Atkinson has, but Berridge getting very close as well.
Yeah, Berridge is at a good pace so far.
Just drop
Be
back
interested
there.
to see if he can keep his tyres in good shape, though. He's pushing hard.
Rushworth and Chepelevsky, that's getting quite tasty as well. Just 0.2 of a second separate those two at the moment. Thompson maybe wants to fight back on Rushworth as well. Guys are not too far behind. That is a real tricky area of the racetrack to be right now. Great drivers in there.
Lee could do a lot worse, actually, Alex, than just following Rushworth.
Yeah, I think
Rushworth's
you're right.
got good pace. Doesn't have to get involved with him as long as he doesn't get attacked from behind by Jeroen Kaiser. Lee just needs to stick with Jamie. And
Whitehead and Berridge up past Whitehead, and Stevens having a
Berridge
look
got
on
a great run on
Whitehead.
Burton, Alex. Sorry, he's got a really good run out of the chicane. He's going to be close into Redgate. You're going to
just a little bit too far back
to undercut him down the hill.
Walker's gone 2.8 seconds. This is just what Walker wants.
Volatile element look like they'll be getting some very valuable points. It is early days though, Alex. It is a 35 lap race. 38
Yeah, of
lap
course.
race, technically
Yeah,
lap
it's-
10.
Yeah, it shows it on the screen. We'll just say it's 38, and yeah, we're on lap, even though we had the 3, sort ourselves out laps.
I think we're pitting on 19, so the strategy there, I'm just checking to make sure Adam's still in the race. He's up to 17th. He showed good pace here, didn't he, Alex, when he did that one-off round last season?
Yeah, he's got Hefford for a little bit of company right now, and he's got 6.3 seconds to the massive pack.
Going defensive, he doesn't need to. There.
And yeah, he just needs to settle in on his rhythm if he can. But
I think he's just got past Hefford, Alex. I think that's what it is. Made his way through on Hefford, and still just defending that line. I don't think he really needs to, because you compromise yourself a bit down that fairly long back straight, to be honest, into that chicane, which reminds me a lot of the final corner in Montreal.
yeah, you're right. It's very, very similar. Just haven't got the wall there to run into, so
Yeah.
we'll have to keep an eye.
Just
It
other
looks like
drivers.
Jeroen Kaiser got a slow down penalty, so he's dropped to the back of that pack and into 15th place now. That's the issue I think drivers are going to have. This pack, I mean, let's just have a look. Lee Berridge really is the guys who are ahead of this pack, is it? No, it's not. It's Robert Burns, sorry.
5 seconds
Burton.
separated it, though. That whole
Yeah.
pack from second down to 13th, Alex, as they came over the timing line.
It's just crazy.
Look
And
at it.
Stevens having a little look, side by side with Whitehead, but
I
Whitehead
hope that
had
spreads out a bit later for me. So I don't have to. I probably won't catch that back though. I'm quick enough. Stevens,
Well,
having,
I mean,
Stevens
they-
having a go up the inside. Is he? No. It's
When they
better of
carry
it.
on as they are, I don't think anyone's going to go anywhere. No one can really seem to progress. As we picked up on, overtaking is quite difficult. I mean, this is just great for Walker now, 4.6 seconds. This is kind of what we saw the last race with Seb was able just to fly away and no one was able to break away too much. So
It's a bit like when you get
see some early stops.
a bit like how I know we've talked about this a bit with F1. When you get a bit of a DRS train, Alex, and everybody has the draft and everybody has the slipstream.
Yep.
This is what always through goes. Oh, Berridge having a look into the old hairpin. Wide goes Burton. He's going to lose that position.
Yeah, good move from Berridge.
Berridge is going to clear off now, and it's going to start this chain reaction.
Whitehead, 110. He's looking at the inside of Burton, but
Stevens.
can't get it done.
Stevens having a look as well, nearly making contact with Whitehead, and then it's Katz, and around the outside of Mark Johnston. Oh, Mark Johnston's a lap car across Simon Field, and
Side by
Dan Blake.
side. We've got Rushworth and Chepelewski as well, so
What's that?
Rushworth doesn't look like he's got enough speed to actually get alongside, although he's late on the brakes into the chicane. And,
Good move
they're
by
side
Jamie,
side
and there's
through
the
there, but
and
yeah,
the
gets it
volatile
done.
element car had a terrible run through the corner. It was
Oh, they're going to be 3-1
Janowski.
into turn 1, I think.
Ackerson, sorry. Ackerson's dropped down from 6th, Alex, right into the back of this pack. Contact Chepelewski hitting Jamie Rushworth.
Yeah, Hackerson all of a sudden finds himself down in 13th place after that, but yeah, little contact there from Chepelewski with Rushworth, but both drivers managed to survive. Thompson quite can't get a move done on Chepelewski, but it's putting him under a lot of pressure. This is really close. Rob Burton now all of a sudden down in 9th place as well, just getting channeled or just run to the back at the moment. Freight trained, I believe, is what I'm after.
Yeah, I'm just checking Adam's pace. He's only got 6 laps left, 7 laps left before he hands over to me. He's only 2/10 off the leader's pace, Alex, so that's very, very good from Adam. He's just moving away slightly from Hefford, trying to bridge that gap up to Jeroen Kaiser, but it's going to be difficult. He's 4 seconds behind that pack, but if that pack keeps fighting, so you can see that big snake into the final chicane, led by Lee Berridge, then, those drivers behind Noon, Bath and Hefford could find themselves somewhere near this, and of course we've got green flag pit stops to make.
Rushworth on Burton, can't quite get a move.
contact
Cross
between-
back. Oh, and Chepelewski hits Rushworth again in turn 1, and Burton sort of gets that past 1, or does he get Rushworth as well? They're going to be side by side. No, so Rushworth does actually manage to get that position, even if it was not the normal way.
He's ahead of Burton now, and Chepelewski's got a slow down. Oh, that's the wrong place for a slowdown. Right in the middle of that fast section. going up towards, well, after the old hairpin. So, and now that's, goodness me, Kevin Noon, Adam Bath, and Chepelevsky. Chepelevsky's going to go back through, and Kevin Noon. Adam Bath's going to go up the inside of both of them into that coppice and down the straight. This could be a great move, Alex. A bit like what Sebastian John managed to pull off last week. But he's not going to quite get there, as Chepelevsky's going to have the Bath very late on the brakes, though. Go on, son. Oh dear, over the curb and over and out, I think, for Adam Bath. And
he went for it. Got to try it.
He believed he could fly, and he did.
Field looks like he's being hung out to dry on the outside. Just hearing news that Mark Johnson showing as a lap down actually isn't. There's some sort of glitch with the parade lap or something like that.
I wondered what was going on there with the with people, making contact with people and everything. I was thinking if he was a lap down, but that explains it. Mark Johnson, and he's in that fight as Rushworth goes off the track.
Oh, he's so close further back between Whitehead, Smolensky, Thompson.
Smolensky and Whitehead have gone.
Yeah.
No, sorry, not Smolensky. It was, goodness me, Johnston and Whitehead have gone.
This is the problem as well. You see, drivers will think that he might get out of the way just in case.
Adam Bath and Scott Malcolm have just crashed. Adam getting a little bit. I need some incident points, mate. Left. And the black flag has been shown for the slowdown penalty.
As well. What we've got here, Smolensky rejoining. We've got Rob Burton behind him and Lee Berridge as well. Lee Berridge is having some issues out right now. He's losing loads of places, all streaming through. That must be a slowdown penalty that he tried to salvage, and he's gone from what was about 6th place down to 13th.
13th, yeah.
He's still slowing down now as well. He needs to be careful. You've got to get it served before you reach the end of the second sector. Otherwise, you'll end up with a penalty. Actually, his car's crabbing. He's got some serious damage on that.
He'll probably receive the meatball now as well. Tim Mawson's still hanging in there in 12th place. He wasn't too happy about his chances earlier on, and then Adam Bath's got another slowdown. I just heard my ear there, but. Yeah, it's not going well, Rick, really, mate. But I'll have to leave you after this lap. And in fact, I'll leave you now. But good luck for the rest of the broadcast. Enjoy, and Adam will be with you hopefully very shortly, mate.
Well, good luck in the car, mate. Hope that you can fight your way up, get yourself a good position.
We'll get it repaired. We'll get it out. We'll see what happens. All right, mate.
That's good. Right, we'll be joined back by Adam very shortly as we're on board with Tim Mawson having a little look at the inside of. I think that is Mark Johnston. So Johnston holds on to what will Huffman's get hold of it, be 11th spot, I believe. So having a little look as well. Rushworth up into 5th place. He's got past Simon Field, closing in on Dan Blake, who's 1.3 seconds ahead of him right now. Ellis Stevens up into 3rd place as well. Katz, we've missed Katz, but Katz has got himself up into 2nd place. So he's done a great job getting through that traffic. Missed most of those moves, unfortunately, but he's 9.9 seconds behind Steve Walker. Walker said, though, the last lap was still quicker than Katz out there, so Walker's flying. That volatile element car is pretty good today, and they were quick a couple of seasons back, as colleague alluded, with David Baker winning his race when he won the championship here. So they've always been quick around Donington, and they're quick again, no doubts. Tim Mawson gets past Hackerson. Lee Thompson is into the pits, so we're already starting to see some pit stops as well. So Lee Thompson jumps in on a clean stop this time for sure. Right, where are we? Jamie Rushworth, Dan Blake, the battle is starting to get a little bit hasty. Just 1/100th of a second behind at the moment. Rushworth is going to get a little move this time, coming out of Coppice. Blake goes defensive really early, but just too late actually. Jamie straight up the inside. He's going to be able to do this on the brakes, I'm sure. Late on the brakes, gets the move done. Blake doesn't fight it too much. Maybe just wants the better run. Actually decides to jump in the pits. Better to pit now than lose any more time. And this is where we could see this pack really start to split out, or it might just be even more of a cluster in there. Sebastian Job, obviously in the car from his teammate, finds himself just about holding onto the lead lap. 31 second stop, so no failure from those guys like where they had the last time. So keep an eye on them. I think we're starting to see a few more cars. Blake Hood is in, Palmer is in, Svidovic is in, and we look like we've got one of the laser tool cars struggling to get into his pit box there, so I'm not sure quite what's going on there. Dave Baker's into the car. Let's see where Baker comes out. That is, I'm not sure who that is in the injured oil direct car. I want to say Svidovic, yeah, Svidovic as well. He comes out just behind Sebastian, so what was pole sitter behind the number 2 qualifier in the first race as well. So that's for sure going to be a good battle for the remainder of the race. Watch those two try and work their way up through the pack. Jamie Rushworth closing on his teammates, 0.8 of a second. They're leaving it for quite some time now. Adam Barth still out there at the moment, coming under a little bit of pressure from one of the Oculus cars. Barth should get a run. He decides to jump in the pits in the end. Barth in as well. So one of the next to the Apex cars. Andrew Whitehead jumped in as well. I'm not sure what happened to Whitehead. How all of a sudden he's all the way down there. Tim Mawson's been in for a little bit of time right now, and yeah, into the car comes Richard Gore. So Richard jumping in for him as well. So everybody taking tyres so far, all around 31 seconds. On the stop at the moment we've got 1st to 7th, which is Steve Walker, Katz, Stevens, Rushworth, Field, Smolinski and Hefford, who have not had a pit stop at this point. At the moment I'm sure those guys will be in, but Walker now leads by 9.6 seconds, doesn't pit this time. Katz looks like he's going to stay out as well. No, Katz is in as well, so Katz jumps in and here's his teammate will jump in momentarily and do that. So we're probably expecting them in 23 at the very latest, so some of these guys might just go a couple more laps. Makes sense for Walker to stay out as long as possible. He's not in any traffic right now, so he's just building up that lead. Stevens and Rushworth, just a bit of processional overtaking there from the two teammates. I'm hearing some contact further back, not sure what that was. I think that might be Whitehead. It was one of the engine oil directs car, I think. And that's on the field with a slowdown penalty, and definitely some contact. Head, that was Smolenski and someone. I'm not sure who that is. I think that might be. The who's taken over for Johnston with the glitch on the start, because they're obviously still battling away, but not in there. So. If you know what I mean. Right, still Walker's surely got to be coming in, so no, continues one more time. He has got, I think, just this lap as we have one of the OGR cars come out of the pits straight in front of, not sure who that was, one of the volatile element cars there. So Rush continues round as well, so he's decided not to pit in this time, so they're going to leave it right to the absolute last minute, so for their drivers to get 14 lapped in. So 24 I guess is when they're going to pit in. Russell Laidler jumped in the car for Smolenski, so they're just getting a fresh set of tyres. Good to see Laidler thrashing the pants off of that car with all the revving it there, or all the exhaust backfires coming out there. Can't think of the word. Totally lost. Any minute now we'll be joined back by Adam. Adam has jumped out of the car, so Andrew Woodhouse is in. He is just 0.8 of a second behind John Roberts, so a relatively strong position, I'd have to say. Ahead of Richard Gore. I'm not really sure why. Richard's down there as well. Actually, Richard had a 46.8 second stop as well. So I'm not sure what's going on with some of these stops. Gordon Wilson as well. Huge pit stop for him, 50 seconds. So we are joined by Adam. Adam, good first stint. Looks like started to close in, had a little battle. Got yourself spun around at the chicane, but looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love the overcast conditions like it was last season, and this time around it was no different. A bit shame that I couldn't have got any higher, but great battling, yeah. And Stelin Chapelewski in the chicane. that was a bit risky on both of our parts, but yeah, great to see Andrew up in 16th place at the moment.
Yeah, again, we've seen a few pit stops that have exceeded this 30-second mark by quite a shot. So, have we got any idea what's going on there? Are people getting slow down? Well, not slow down penalties. Are people getting, stop and go or stop and holds, speeding violations or something like that? Because it's really, I'm quite surprised.
Yeah, so am I. I haven't really looked into that much due to just getting out of the car, but. Interesting to see why this is occurring, especially to quite a few guys. How many? My pit timing thing probably isn't correct, but I see that we have the leaders in.
Yeah, leaders have just jumped in. I'm looking at Paul Smith, of course, Walker's teammate. So Smith's, person behind him on the track is Sebastian Job. So 7.6 seconds. Let's see how close, because Laura Bond's going to be pretty close to these, because I'm sure Jamie was ahead of Lee when they pitted in. So yeah, here comes Laura now exiting the pits. This is going to be quite close actually, I think, with Job. Job's just gets in front. Laura comes out just behind this pass, so it's going to be behind, just in front of Stefan Hoog, in fact. Yeah, Bond in fourth, Vitch just ahead of her. They've got a laser car as a back marker there in between. Job into second, so that early pit stop from Lee Thompson definitely played off really nicely actually, because they were able to get out of that pack and just put in some good lap times. And 7.1 seconds, we've got 14 laps to go. We know how quick he was in the last stint. Do we think he could possibly close this gap up, Adam?
Oh, well, we saw he had a 15-second gap before he came into the pits for his first stop. That shows you how much of a great driver he is. I have to say, also credit to him as well for the setup. We were using it in the Apex Racing TV car, and it was working an absolute dream in the second race. So Paul Smith, 7-second lead. We're about to start lap 25. Sebastian Job second, Wojciech Swidovic third, Stefan Hugers in fourth, Laura Bond fifth, Ben Palmer sixth, Steve Richardson seventh, Stephen Burke in eighth, Ashley Blakehood in ninth, Russell Layler 10th, Daniel Hunt 11th, Rob Fagg in 12th, David Baker in 13th, our race one winner, Jay Wright in 14th. But then it's this battle, and I know I might be a bit biased because it's got my co-driver in here, but it is the closest battle I think we've got on track at the moment, and that is the battle for 15th between John Roberts in the Engine Oils Direct car, Andrew Woodhouse in 16th, who's going Danny inside, and he's through! Andrew Woodhouse up into 15th place. Well, a good move there, Alex.
That was a great move, and we'll be delighted that we've got that on camera. His teammate looks like he wants to make a move as well. Richard Gore up the inside of John Roberts. Is he going to get that stopped in time? Yes, he is. Both the Apex TV cars move themselves up a place, and it looks like I'm trying to think who that is behind in the Ox car.
Matt Owens.
So, I think that's, it's a lap driver, isn't it, actually? He's a lap down, so I'm not sure what happened to Matt. But yeah, so Andrew and Richard have got themselves 8 seconds gap before Jay Wright now. So Jay Wright lapping in the 109, so we'll have to see what they do. Up front, Paul Smith was...
he was quicker than Joe. Oh no, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. No, he was
half a second slower.
Half a second slower. So at that pace, Joe will catch him at the end of the race, though. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. That could be a tasty little battle at the end. And Svidovic, to be honest, is coming with Joe as well. Those guys lapping. Actually, Svidovic last time was some 0.2 seconds quicker. And
Battle for 9th. Battle for 9th, making loads of crazy noises here. Russell Layler, Ashley Blakehood, and who's that? Daniel Hunt. Danny inside goes Blakehood in the volatile element car, and he's through. Russell Layla versus Daniel Hunt side by side, and I know what this is like earlier in the race, and up towards right-hander down the inside goes Russell Layla. There's just nowhere to go, and wow, look at Daniel Hunt around the outside of both of them. That is a fantastic move there by Daniel Hunt in the GT Omega car into the right-hander, and he turns Blake Hood around. Well, a bit of loss of talent there from Daniel Hunt. Blake Hood possibly could be blamed as well for coming across him, but yeah, that was looking good for a while.
Yeah, we do so often see that as well, these close battles, for 3 or 4 corners just end, unfortunately, a little bit like that. So I know sometimes there's sometimes drivers just need to know when to get out of it there, and I don't think Blake Hood should have done that by any means, or down there, because it was just they were side by side. There's fair to go for it. Blake Hood, was up the inside, so why should he? But sometimes they just need to give each other a little bit more room, and even if it means that you might end up conceding the place, just for sure there, you've got to finish.
Sebastian Job taking another half a second out of Paul Smith, and also change of position. Ben Palmer is up into 5th. He's managed to get past Laura Bond, so the Engine Oils Director number 2 car is up into 5th position. Other battles unfolding on track at the moment. Rob Fagg and Daniel Hunt. Daniel Hunt's managed to dispatch the likes of Ashley Blake Hood, and now he's trying to get past Rob Fagg in the 31 car. Battle for 10th place at the moment, and 0.2 of a second separate them as they head down the back straight. We've just got 10 laps to go in his second race of the evening. Through the chicane, Daniel Hunt's taking a lot of that curb, and I think he has got a run on the Team Carnage car, and Rob Fagg senses that. He moves over to the side, and I hear a bang and a crash. I don't know who that is for. It is for Gordon Wilson, I do believe, but he's a lap down. Into the first corner, Rob Fagg and Daniel Hunt. Rob Fagg still in front though.
Yeah, once again, second and third place take out what is nearly half a second out of Paul Smith, but Svidovic is right with Sebastian right now, just 0.6 of a second behind with this battle between Rob Fagg and Daniel Hunt, though, as they're just 0.2 of a second separate them as they round this tricky section of the circuit, getting ready for the uphill right-hander of Coppice, and once again Hunt senses that he's close enough to perhaps make a little move.
Onto the back straight then, Hunt taking a bit of a tighter line. Don't know if he's trying to get the best possible speed as we head down the straight, but he's not going to be close enough, surely.
No, way too far back to do anything. Like you say, it wasn't a good run at all. Svidovic now just 0.4 of a second behind Job. Will he sit behind Job? He can see that Job is going to close in on Paul Smith by the end of this race. Is it worth making a move now? It goes very close under the braking, and potentially giving up a chance for either driver to get up to the leader. I would think that he would be probably prudent to sit there, and it's a 3-way battle for the lead. I feel that if they start to battle heavily right now, that is going to lock them into a second and third place finish guaranteed. It's just whether or not right now their Svidovic teammates in his ear. He's not at all, because he's having a little look up the inside, wants to get
and
past
Job gives it to him.
I think, now Job there, I'm afraid he has his head screwed on. He knows if he battles, he's got no chance of getting up to Smith. So the race is still very much alive for them. And I think that even that lap, they still caught up 0.6 of a second on Paul Smith. So they're closing him in at a rate of knots, and they can't afford to battle. So, sensible thinking there from what is a 15-year-old in the car, Sebastian Job, thinking of the big picture there. So great driving, but Svidovic will be happy that he's got that move done. They've not really had a one-on-one battle at all this season, and I know that he certainly wants to Job in his place a little bit.
0.7 of a second they took out of Paul Smith last time around, kept down to 4.6 seconds. 4.5 now, in fact. We've got 8.5 laps to go here in the second race at Donington Park. Other battles unfolding on the racetrack at the moment. Battle for 6th place between Stephen Burke and Laura Bond, 4/10 of a second separating them. But behind them, we've got teammate. Well, no, we haven't got teammates. It's battle between Steve Richardson and Russell Laidler in the OGR car for Russell Laidler, Power Max for Steve Richardson. Working their way onto the back straight. They've got a bit of lap traffic to deal with. Gordon Wilson in the Laser Tools car. Let's see if he becomes a bit of a factor. He might actually. We're coming up to the final chicane. Richardson goes down the inside. Will Laidler join him? Yes, he does. Bit of contact though. Shoves Wilson out the way, and that's allowed Daniel Hunt and Rob Fagg to close in as well. So we've got a 4-car battle now for 8th place as they come across the line, and I think Hunt senses an opportunity to get the position. Down the inside goes the GTO Mega Car, and Daniel Hunt is through into 10th place, but it's not over yet. Rob Fagg is going to come back on the outside line as we head down through the Craner curves, but I think Daniel Hunt has definitely got that position now, surely. Yes, Daniel Hunt up into 10th place.
Interestingly, Sebastian Joe gets himself a slowdown penalty as well. That puts him 1.8 seconds behind Svidovic. That was not what he wanted, so 4.7 seconds get to the leader. So that might well be him done, locked into that 3rd place. Depends how hard Paul Smith battles Svidovic when they get up to him. But this battle continues to rage on. We're looking at Dan Hunt getting very close to the back of Rusty Laidler right now.
Indeed he is. Daniel Hunt on the back of Russell Laidler. Rob Fagg keeping a watchful eye on 11 from David Baker. Now he was behind me at one point in the race, sharing a car with Rob Plumley. How he's managed to work his way up into 12th place. So good job from him at the moment to keep his championship points alive. Especially at this early stage in the season where it could all be crucial when we get to the showdown at the end of the season. Daniel Hunt though, side by side with Russell Laidler. Laidler just has the advantage though as we head into Redgate. 7 laps to go. Hunt's going to try and get the cut back on the exit, but it's not good enough. Daniel Hunt was driving with, was it Stelian Shepelevsky he was driving with? Sharing the car with?
You might be right, yes, I think it was.
So, yeah, as representative, we were battling with Shepelevsky earlier in the race. So Daniel Hunt up in 10th. Trying to get 9th from Russell Laidler, and Rob Fagg definitely keeping a watchful eye in 11th place up towards the right-hander. Russell Laidler defends the inside line, but but Hunt is going to get a run through the exit, just not close enough to do anything. Whilst we head through McLean's now, the gap between the 1st and 2nd place car is 2.8 seconds. Wojciech Svidovic was 9/10 of a second quicker that lap time around. Down the back straight though, this battle continues for 8th place. Down towards the chicane, Richardson, I don't think he's safe from the likes of Russell Laidler and Daniel Hunt through the chicane, and look how close they are now, Alex, as they come across the line.
Yeah, Laidler might just get a little opportunity to have a run. He's going to have to go around the outside. Maybe Hunt's going to keep it on the inside, see if he can follow Richardson around there. Can't quite make it. Laidler trying to go around the outside. I think he's going to put himself under a little bit of pressure here. Oh, this is so close. Dan Hunt just decides to switch back in. For a moment he was going to try and hold it and get the inside through the old hairpin there.
Update on our colleague Andrew Woodhouse. He's 2 seconds behind the car in front, Ashley Blakehood. So Andrew Woodhouse continues to be in 15th place. Up towards the right-hander, Daniel Hunt still can't get past Russell Laidler. Russell Laidler's just hogging that inside line. There's nowhere for the GTO Mega Car to go, and especially that tight part of the track where it is so hard to overtake. Russell Laidler does a look down the inside there of Steve Richardson as we onto the back straight.
Hoog is right on the back of Sebastian, who's dropped some 5 seconds away from Svidovic now, so 1 minute 11. So I'm guessing that was another slowdown penalty there for the young driver. So struggling a little bit out there, or maybe he's got some fuel issues. I don't know. I'm guessing that's a slowdown rather than trying to conserve fuel. But Hoog's all over right now.
Yes, indeed, down towards the old hairpin. 4.5 laps to go. Update as well at the front of the pack. 1.8 seconds between Paul Smith and Wojciech Svidovic. Svidovic was 0.8 of a second quicker that time around, so he's definitely reeling him in. Got a grandstand finish shaping up for the lead. Up towards the right-hander, who just not close enough. We've been seeing all night, Alex, how really in this part of the racetrack, you've really got to barge the car out of the way to really advance your position.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when drivers are this closely matched on pace, it really does take drivers to make a mistake, as we've seen Job do, unfortunately, a couple of times in the previous laps. So Hoog will know this. He'll put him under pressure. Maybe see if he can some mistake, another slowdown penalty or something like that from him.
Job is starting to get a bit defensive as we come across the line. We were talking earlier about how cool and calm and collected he is, but I think he's starting to get into the heat of the battle here as we head into the first corner. Stefan Hug looks down the inside line, but Sebastian Job just takes his racing line as well as he does. The battle between those two, 0.3 of a second separating them. Last time around, Wojciech Savidovic 108.9, Paul Smith 109.6, so about 6 tenths or 7 tenths of a second difference between the volatile element car leading and the engine oils direct car in second place, and the gap between them is 7 tenths of a second for the race lead. Surely in a lap or two time we are going to have a grandstand finish for this race, Alex.
Oh, we are indeed. So podium positions being contested all over the place. I think at the moment it's going to go right down to the wire. Who definitely wants to get a run on Job? Is he going to get, it looks like a good exit, but Job seems to be able to hug the inside a little bit better through Coppice and goes a little bit defensive, senses the slipstream's going to be just enough to get Hug into position to have a look, but in the end just takes back his normal line as they come through the chicane. Great shot as they fly through there as well. Both drivers not using the high sausage curb there, just the normal low curb, and gets a better run they can. Still too far back. Svidovic,
Paul Smith, I hope you're ready for the most intense 3 laps of your racing career, probably on iRacing. The season 6 champion Wojciech Savidovic is just all over him. How is he going to put up with this for 2.5 laps? Personally, I can't see him doing it, but here we go. Savidovic trying to go around the outside. Smith is wise to that move, and that's fantastic defending there from the volatile element car, putting Savidovic in his place as we head up towards the right-hander. Is he going to be able to slow the car down? I think that's probably going to be his biggest downfall. He gives the engine oils direct car enough room up towards the right-hander at the top of the hill. Round the outside goes Savidovic. Surely not. He's going to take the lead, I think, as we head down towards the chicane. Someone kicks up a whole lot of dust there. Will Paul Smith keep it in as we head towards the chicane? Savidovic is clear. Is he? Smith's going to lunge down the inside, but no. Wojciech Savidovic takes the lead after a brilliant battle with Paul Smith. Well, Paul Smith, he had a 7-second lead after the pit stops, but Savidovic has managed to claw away at that gap, and he's now the new race leader.
Yeah, great drive from Svidovic actually. He was he had a little bit of work to do when he got handed the car, but he's done a great job, and yeah, he's made it look pretty easy out there as well. So gets himself up into first place and already 8 tenths of a second back, and seems to have lost Robert Fagg. Robert Fagg just disappeared all of a sudden, so not quite sure what's happened out there, but that car is dropping down the field and well and truly out.
Yeah, and it looks like he's in the pits as well. He doesn't seem to be running at all. That could be, it could either be a disqualification or it could be a disconnection of some sort, but either way the battle continues for third place between Sebastian Job and Stefan Hug. Lap times last time around, Sebastian Job 109.342, so Stefan Hug 109.327, 1 tenth of a second difference, and these two probably are going to be contesting the championship at this rate, but they're probably thinking a bit far ahead. The championship doesn't end until December, but these two are right at the front of the pack at every single race meeting, through the chicane on to the front straight. We're on the final lap of this race here at Donington Park, in towards the first corner. Does Stefan Hug going to go have a look down the inside of Job? Thinks better of it. Well, he's only got a few more overtaking possibilities to get this move done, and one of those is the final chicane at the end of the lap, and he'll have to take a lunge there through the crane of curves. Hug has a look down the inside there. It's Job to give him an opening. However, we're now entering the past 6 racetrack, Alex, where it is so hard to overtake.
Yeah, absolutely, Job. I think definitely shows that he's had a bit of an issue with the slowdowns, because not quite challenging the curbs and the sort of, well, not the runoff areas, but just a little bit of the dusty gravel section that's been, compacted down as much as Hug. So he's obviously got that in the back of his mind. He's had 2 slowdowns, doesn't want another one. We're just got this straight, and that looks like a great exit there from Job. That might just be enough. It's all going to be about the exit. Svidovic is going to come across the line though to take the second race victory here tonight for Engine Oil. That does their championship absolutely no harm whatsoever. Paul Smith in the volatile element number 3 car gets it. Job takes the final podium position, double podium for those guys. Hug in the Oculus Team 1 car there, gets himself 4th place, and he'll be delighted with that. Ben Palmer comes across in 5th place good race week for those guys as well. Good strong finish. So Engine Oils Direct again, 2 cars in top 5. Seem to be doing it week on week out at the moment, Adam, and this is what is going to win them that championship.
Yes, indeed, and great performance by Volatile Element number 3. Usually we're expecting to see Volatile Element 1 and 2 up there, but great performance from Paul Smith, even though he did lose the lead. And Andrew Woodhouse coming across the line, 15th place for Team Commentary Box, Apex Racing TV, and 15th place for them for us after starting pretty much stone dead last, working our way through the field to get a respectable, I think, result. And I don't think you can ask for any much more than that. Rounding out the rest of the field, 10th Volatile Element number 1, 11th is Paramax number 42 of Steve Richardson, 12th Volatile Element Ashley Blake Hood, 13th Oculus Team 3 of Jay Wright, 14th Apex Racing TV number 2 of Richard Gore, 15th Apex Racing TV number 3 Andrew Woodhouse, 16th Engine Oils Direct of John Roberts, and then last car on the lead lap, 17th Pete Newman Media number 1, that is Pete Newman.
Yeah, 2 great races tonight, Adam. I have to say, thoroughly enjoyed this team event. Certainly something a little bit different for us than the usual, and it's worked out quite nicely actually. And I'm looking forward to the next team event that they do it. So definitely different and thoroughly entertaining.
Yes, indeed, it was for me. I have to say, I've never felt quite so alone doing those warm-up laps before the green flag went out, and then it was every man for himself. And the pit stop, that works out fine. That was one of my biggest fears of the race as well. We'll see if we can get a word with Andrew Woodhouse now after his 15th place results. We'll also try and get a word with some of our big finishers as well, including the rest of the guys from Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse, 15th place. We saw you have that great move on one of the... Was it one of the engine oil direct
John
cars?
Roberts, I think.
Yeah, great move on him, and you managed to get a 15th place in the end.
Yeah, it was all right. It was good fun out there. It was just that everyone else, the field was so spread out. I think in the end, mate, that couldn't get there. I don't really know what happened because I put more fuel in than was needed, and turns out with about 5 laps left, I'd start saving fuel. So yeah, that's why I let Richard Gore go through, try and get some more points for the team, but we just would have missed it, I think, by about a third of a lap, which was weird because, like I said, I put more than the required amount in for how far we went. So strange.
Yeah, I don't know how the field got so far split apart as well, because there wasn't too much battling in the early laps, I didn't think, and all of a sudden the guy in front was 8 seconds clear. So yeah, it's very hard to overtake. However, it was good to see that we stuck with the cars that we pitted with, and we were able
got to the end.
Yeah, we got to the end better than what we did in the first race. So
I only had 1 incident point remaining.
And you, well, yeah,
Gotta be close. Not worth it otherwise.
Yeah.
well,
Right, I'm gonna drag down the Engine Oil Direct guys at the moment as well. See if we can have a quick word with both of them, because they had a great race as well in that last stint. So we're joined now by Dan Blake and Wojciech Svidovic. Congrats, gentlemen! Great race in that second one. It looked like it was very difficult to make moves in that first stint. You were one of the few that sort of pitted a little bit earlier than the rest of, made some good progress there, got yourself up into, I think, what was P3, and you closed in on that Apex TV car, made the move. It looked like Job sort of wanted to tuck in behind you, but then got a couple of slowdown penalties, but you were able to then just push on and close into Smith very easily.
Yeah, I had a bit of an edge over Seth today. Didn't really expect that, but at the moment I catch up to him, it was excellent opportunity that I took inside in the chicane, and from there it was just trying to catch up to the front. And Dan did excellent job putting me when I was for the second stint, and it worked out excellent.
So Dan, just talk us about the dynamic of this team event. Obviously very different, we've never done it before. The Kia is probably not a car that many people would think about doing this in, so it looked like the pit stops you could afford to take a fresh set of tyres while the driver swap was happening?
Yeah, it was a good opportunity, really. I mean, the first stint, this is my first BSRTC wins, I'm overjoyed, but in the first stint, I really I didn't really have a plan as such, but I saw us keeping pace with Andreas Katz, Smolenski, people like that, and I thought we'd have a bit of a shout. So a bit more, less gung ho than I might be if it was on a solo race. Obviously, knowing so I know what Wodge can do is an absolute legend in these cars. I know if you give him a good position, what he can do. So I set Wodge up for that position, and he brought the race home superbly. But I think it definitely brings a different dynamic to the championship, a bit of a different mentality as well.
Yeah, because of course you guys are not just driving for yourselves out there. You got to worry about your teammate as well. And you know, at the start of that race, the pack was huge. You know, and it looked like the drivers were being quite cagey out there for a change.
Yeah, it's a bit different than normal. I thought it was very, for a BSRTC race, it was quite relaxed. A few of the cars were getting a bit closer in front of me. There was one moment when we went 3 wide coming out of the old hairpin, but other than that, it was quite restrained really. I just kept my pace. I knew I had a good race pace, which was keeping me up to date, and I just kept on with the group I was with, and it put us in a great position for Watch to take over.
And Engine Oils Direct seem to be going from strength to strength each week, and you know, another couple of cars in the top 5. Of course, Ben Palmer and your own Kaiser there as well in 5th place. So looking good for you guys at the moment. You know, your competition out there not such a week. So yeah, I mean, I know it's a long way to go to start to look at it, but you're delighted with the start of the season at the moment.
Oh yeah, we're definitely delighted. We're doing excellent as a team. As far as I know, we on the lead and kept the lead after today's 2 races. So yeah, definitely it's looking good for the rest of the season.
And of course, next week, totally different. Back on your own, and you know, full steam ahead. And how are you guys looking forward to that?
I'll be in my usual role, spotting for the team. Obviously, I'm a reserve, so the extra car race is the only chances I get to race unless someone's away. But I'll be doing what I usually do, supporting the lads, keeping them up to date with what's going on, and hopefully overseeing some more great results like tonight.
Yeah, Wojciech?
Yeah, for me, again, I just try to catch up those podiums. Doesn't matter if it's race 2, race 1, or race 3. You know, I'm pretty confident I will be in the top 10 towards the end of the shootout. So it's all about getting those extra points for the podium finishes.
Well, congratulations, guys. Special congratulations to you, Dan, for your first win in the series as well. You go and enjoy what has been a great night's racing.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for the
Cheers.
coverage. Great as always.
Well
Thanks very
done,
much.
chaps. Well done.
Right then, gentlemen. Oh, first team race
Yes.
event on the BRSTC Pro Series is done and dusted. And
Brilliant
I have
way
to say, it was a pretty good one.
Brilliant way to set us up for the off week that we've got next week. Unfortunately, we won't be here, but it definitely leaves us on our toes, ready for the next race. It will be on the 30th of April at Barber.
Yeah, Barber's a great track, Alex. I know you like that one a lot. I know I do.
Very difficult to overtake there, so that'll be interesting to see how it plays. And the undulation of the track really can catch a few drivers out, and I would think the Kia shouldn't suffer too much with any issues, more than just the understeer. But a lot of blind corners, that might be the tricky part of it. So yeah, that's for sure going to be a great race. Congrats, guys, as well for at least being able to get in that second race, and we will see you do the same thing in the next team event. But yeah, thank you very much for taking the time to jump into the booth with me when you weren't in the car. It's always very much appreciated. Of course, thanks to everybody for tuning in and watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Share it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Do all the goodness for us. We need to get this series out there as well. No other league in sim racing is currently racing for $10,000. And you know, it's generated through the actual league as well, not like the governing body of iRacing doing it. So, you know, huge thing, and then we should be shouting about this more. Let's see everyone share this video out if you're in this series. So, thank you very much for tuning in. Alex Simpson, Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath here for the first ever team championship race in the BSRTC Pro Series. We'll wish you a good night, and we'll see you next time.